But no, they say we hate DC or something.
Yeah,
No, we
apparently
hate them
that's
so
how it
much that we
goes.
can't stop talking about them. But yeah, the Snyder Cut, at least we get to talk about that. I heard some dumb equivalent of apparently HBO Max, they can waste $425 million on Friends. So it's a freaking steal to waste $70 million on the Snyder Cut. And all I could think was, two wrongs don't make a right, jackass.
Speaking of wrongs and rights, welcome everybody to the show. Glad you guys are here with us. We got some scorchers today, and you guys are gonna have to deal with some rants because boy, some of these topics I'm a little bit salty about. I'm a little bit muffed about, a little angry, flustered, all of the various emotions that the general goes through in the course of
Husky, did you
3+
just hear him say
hours.
he was muffed about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the word is miffed, but whatever.
Don't question my Kryptonian dialect, you
I feel like your
uncultured swine.
translation is a little off.
I feel like you are, sir, are using your pumpkin privilege around here, and I do not appreciate it.
Ooh, pumpkin privilege. That sounds delicious.
Welcome, everybody. I see people coming in. Welcome to the channel. Tonight, we will be talking about great things. I am going to tackle head on this Chris Pratt thing, and I'm going to get salty. So before you guys comment, I've got to go on my rant. I've got something to say. And I'm going to make this perfectly clear because you guys have known I've never been one to hold my tongue about how I feel about these things. But you know what? Fuck. Yeah. TV knows.
Sorry, I didn't mean to start laughing in the middle of the beginning of your rant here, but I just read the entire title for the stream.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm salty about this. Fuck these people on Twitter, man. Fuck these fucking drones, these fucking weirdos on Twitter attacking
I mean, you
Chris
can
Pratt.
fuck them if you want. Just leave me out
Hold
of it.
on, Cyber. I'm gonna let you talk in a second. I've got to say my piece here. This is fucking ridiculous because of the fact that these people have attacked this guy, this good Christian guy who doesn't say shit about his politics, who probably made one of the most unique MCU movies or starred in one of the most unique MCU movies that we have seen. And they go after him. And you guys want to hear irony? All you fucking Twitter weirdos who sit here and post negative hate shit attacking this person, they attack him for something, and I'm going to get into the article in a little bit. I don't want to spoil it here. No fucking spoilers. But they attack him for something, and they get it wrong. And instead of these weirdos, because we know they're not going to apologize. They'll never apologize for being fucking wrong. Instead of going, whoa, oh, okay, now that we see the circumstance of why he did what he did and we're going to scale it back, they double down on the fucking stupidity, and they just can persistent. And this is nasty, vile, disgusting, hateful shit attacking this man and his family, his fucking family. You bunch of fucking Twitter keyboard warrior, no backbone pieces of shit that I can guarantee you Chris Pratt can kick any one of your asses behind your fucking keyboards. They fucking sit here and they type this bullshit because they don't have the balls enough to say any of this shit to people in real life because we don't got the balls. But behind a keyboard, we can just fucking be men and women and get our big fucking big boy pants on and attack someone. And the most ignorant and ridiculous part about this whole shit is what they attacked him on. They weren't even fucking right. They were completely fucking wrong about the whole situation. They attacked this man's family. They attacked his credibility. They went after him and issued fucking death threats over fucking politics. You fucking weirdos. And tomorrow, I'm going to get into the politics because these fucking leftists are out of their fucking mind. But you guys are all a bunch of pieces of shit. I hope you all die really terribly. I said it. No disclaimer. You guys can fuck right off. If you don't like what I have to say, you can all come and meet me, and we can see who the fuck will win that fight. You bunch of fucking pussies. How's that for an opening?
Bring a gun to that fight. I know you know martial arts, but bring a gun as a backup.
You know,
Yes, this is America.
you know, so let me just jump right into this because I want to give context for my huge long rant. But I got two articles. One is fucking stupid, and then
quick question, because I don't, I'm not a history aficionado. Husky might have the answer on this one. Does Hamilton end his frickin', what do I want to say, his play on Broadway by murdering Burr, or do they not make it that far?
I didn't watch the play. Well, I did.
I didn't watch that piece of shit either.
I watched it, and I'm like, it's hard to keep up with this. It is. I can't keep up with like hip hop stuff. But what's your question again?
I just wanted to know if the play ended with him killing him, because you gotta have a gun at a fight, man. That's how you win.
Yeah, because that is how he died, was a duel.
Bingo.
Yeah, it certainly was. And our soul died from stupidity. Anyways, I'm gonna jump right into this really quick because this one's a quick article, and you'll hear the differences between these two articles. This comes to us from World, probably a rag magazine, and they said everybody hates Chris. Everybody, every fucking person.
I didn't watch that TV show either.
I know. It was actually good. That was the golden age where you could actually fucking tell jokes. But anyways, A-list actor Chris Pratt, who stars in Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World franchises, keeps his politics to himself, as they should. He's the worst, according to Twitter users. Earlier this month, TV producer Amy Berg stated in an online melee by tweeting a picture of Pratt and three other movie stars: Chris Evans, who played Captain America in the Avengers, Chris Hemsworth of Thor, Chris Pine, known for playing Captain James T. Kirk, and new Star Trek franchise. One has to go, Berg says. Who the fuck are you, Berg? No one cares about you, Amy Berg. You're a fucking washed up TV producer. I looked her up. She's another one of those fucking weird leftists. But anyways, ranking the four blonde-haired, blue-eyed Hollywood Chris's has been an internet parlor game for years, as has listing out similar people, places, or things, choosing which one has to go. Berg's post went viral, and things got unfun quickly. In more than 20,000 responses and retweets, many latched went viral. Twitter users almost anonymously dubbed Chris Pratt as the worst Chris. Pratt has not spoken publicly about his political convictions this election season, making liberals suspicious he supports President Donald Trump. A cardinal sin in the entertainment industry. Last week, the Russo brothers director from the two Avengers movie organized Voters Assemble, an online fundraiser and probably scheme for former Vice President Joe Biden's campaign. Many of the film's actors participated, but the Avengers Endgame declined. Endgame and Infinity War Chris Pratt declined to make an appearance. He also skipped last month's fundraiser for the Democratic Party, featuring most of the cast from Parks and Recs, the NBC sitcom he worked at for 6 years. His most political and public comment this election season was a joke on Instagram in which he tried to convince followers to pick his movie Onward for People's Choice Award by gently mocking celebrities who earnestly extolled their virtues of voting. Many followers complained about the insensitivity, saying voting isn't something to be laughed at. This year it is. Pratt also has to go, according to Twitter users, because he's a Christian. He attends Zoa Church in Los Angeles, which says it welcomes people of all backgrounds while affirming biblical sexual ethics. That has prompted critics, most notably actress Ellen Page, to accuse Pratt of being anti-LGBT. Fuck you, Ellen Page. You haven't been in anything fucking relevant in the past couple of years, and you're a cunt. The thousands of attacks Pratt became so personally and mean-spirited that some of his fellow Avengers came to his rescue. Robert Downey Jr., who played the character of Iron Man, also skipped the Biden fundraiser, said Pratt was a real Christian who lives by his principles, and encouraged Pratt's haters to delete their social media accounts and think of their own defects. Even Hulk actor, who's an extreme leftist, Mark Ruffalo, supported...
My therapist told me not to think about my cleft lip.
supported leftist Bernie Sanders in the presidential primaries, had no patience for fans who wanted to cancel fellow Avenger. He treated Pratt as a solid man. There is that I know him personally, and instead of casting aspersions, look to how he lives his life. He is just not overtly political as a rule. During Hollywood's golden age, studios wanted to avoid controversy with their actors, but modern culture is increasingly, as Pratt's case shows, does not allow celebrities to be apolitical. Yeah, so that first one's just a rough overview. So basically, they are sitting here, this man clearly doesn't want to state his politics. He doesn't come out and say he supports Trump or in any way, shape, or form. For as long as I followed Chris Pratt, and I've watched Parks and Recs every season, I've never once in any interview, any gala, anything like that, or on Twitter, seen him talk about anything political or even religious. You would never know the man was a Christian if they didn't sit here and dig up dirt because they're trying to find a way to condemn him, which I'm Christian. I didn't fucking know that was a sin. But, apparently, if you aren't fucking towing the line, if you aren't with the politics, if you aren't declaring from the hills that Harris and Biden are the greatest thing that happened since fucking sliced cheese, then you are a traitor to these fucking weird Twitter people. And now, really quick, Cyber TV, what do you think about this before I go on to something funny that they're attacking him for that isn't true?
So let's see. What would Chris Pratt want to be remembered as, people? Does he want to be known as loving Chris Pratt, actor who plays like Star-Lord, and then, of his other characters, like, or does he want to be remembered first for his political opinion, and then, oh yeah, like the first thing you see with Chris Pratt is like, oh hey, he's Star-Lord, right?
Yeah.
Or Parks and Rec,
100%.
wherever you're recognized with him, first thing. Now, what's the first thing you think of when you see Mark Ruffalo on the screen?
Oh, what political thing is he going to talk about now?
That's That's the thing. Do you
I
want
don't
to
got
be? If
time to
you're
list
pretty
all of
people
the
in these
bullshit.
fields, do you want to be remembered for what you do or what your opinions are on politics?
Yeah, Husky. That is totally, very eloquently put. I 110% agree with you. That is what these people essentially, and I'm doing air quotes here, strive for. Right? They're always saying we want to be remembered for a body of work, and movies leave a lasting impression, and all this other stuff. Right? But here's what Hollywood doesn't get. You can't have it both ways. Either you're a political activist and you want to be remembered for your political contributions, or you're a fucking actor and you want to be remembered for your art. But what they don't seem to get is that when you mix something personal with something business, they're going to clash eventually. And that's what's been happening recently more and more, is especially
but
with
they're
politics.
just using their platform to affect change, Zod.
Oh yeah, how well is that going for them?
You know who else used their platform to affect change?
The
Who else?
Nazis.
Oh yeah, man. Adolf.
Oh wow,
We dropped the N-word already.
His book made him a celebrity. That thing made him lots of money too.
yeah.
It
If
did.
we're talking about great works of art, you fucking weirdos. What about Mein Kampf? That was a struggling artist, just making
Oh my
a mark
God.
on the world. No, I mean, hey, no, I'm just thinking like a leftist here. That was a man trying to express his worldview.
And he
And
told everyone what he
Hitler
was
is the
going to do,
ultimate
and he did it.
leftist.
He told everyone what he was going to do, and he did it. And they put him as the head of the party, and then eventually elected him as Chancellor of Germany. And then once, I think it was President of Germany, they also had, he died, and then Adolf said, "Oh, I guess I'm also the president, but you can call me the Fuhrer."
Yeah, and let me just ask everyone who's pretty familiar with this historical subject that we're bringing up. How did that work out for everyone in Europe? How'd that go? England, you progressive.
Well, I would say that it didn't work out too well. In fact, quite horribly. But if you ask the Iranians, they would tell you nothing happened between 1938 and 1945.
They certainly would. And look, I'm probably going to get hit for using the N-word on here because that's more offensive than anything else. So hopefully this shit doesn't get pulled down immediately after. But I'm stating a fact here. This is the same equivalent that these crazy art people are trying to use on us here. They're trying to say that through their art, they can affect change. And I'm going to tonight bring up some really great upcoming projects and products that are coming out that every one of us has to look forward to, with gender swapping, with racial and politically charged projects that are coming up that specifically are attacking people, and they're calling it art. But when Chris Pratt won't say anything about his stance, oh my God, it's the biggest. He's got to be a Trump supporter, right? Because he doesn't want to talk about politics, which is pissing everyone off. So he's automatically a Trump supporter. He's a late racist.
Well,
he's
yeah.
Christian, so he's against the gay community. Let me ask you guys.
Feel like it's pleading the fifth. If you can't come out and support Joe Biden, then you're obviously a Donald Trump supporter, because nobody out there can either be indifferent or not care. In fact, there's going to be millions of people that don't care.
Hey, Jamie Vick, it's good to see you. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that you got home from the hospital. Hopefully everything's okay with you.
Whoa, whoa,
It's
whoa,
not.
whoa, whoa,
Well,
whoa, whoa.
everything's okay.
Whoa,
Sounds
hold
good.
on here, guy. I am happy to hear that she is home from the hospital. She could be messaging us from the hospital. She could be like, I'm in a hospital and things are doing horribly, but thankfully she's home. So I would think that things are doing better. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
would.
good that she's home.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad that the first thing you chose to do is to come on here and listen to us talk about ridiculousness because
Oh,
boy,
yes, we appreciate that.
this show is packed with ridiculous tonight. It was like Christmas, sadly, with the way things are breaking down. It was like Christmas for me because I gotta be honest with you. I was like, there's so much shit for me to talk. Like, I was gonna come up here and be like, hey guys, did everyone see The Mandalorian? Let's talk about that. But
Yep.
then I saw this and I said, we're gonna have to do The Mandalorian later because this
Oh,
is this is just for me, this is my entertainment portion, right? And we do our political portion tomorrow. But you see what's kind of happening here, guys? The politics and the entertainment's lines are blurring to where one is sounding like the other. I mean, I even go on other YouTubers, right? Clownfish TV, other people that we probably know and watch, Doomcock, Robot Head, all of these great guys, and even their stuff, they don't do politics at all.
So
But you can hear the politics in what they're reporting because the line between political and entertainment is so fucking blurred right now that you can't really say anything without mentioning the other. It's
it's
just
like the
impossible.
ads arc with South Park, how they said there's no real. It's hard to find real news because the ads make up stories and make it seem like they're the news.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
everyone's seen those South Park episodes, right? The ads.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell what was ad and what was real.
But first, I got one more thing on this Chris Pratt thing, so I'm gonna read this article really quick. So you guys heard they attacked Chris Pratt for not doing this fundraiser, things like that. Well, here's where they fucked up, but no one's come out and issued this man an apology. Chris Pratt wasn't asked, and this is the top of the article. Chris Pratt wasn't asked to attend the Biden fundraiser with the Avengers cast, says the director who organized it, Joe Russo. In an
Maybe it's
interview,
because Joe Russo respects Chris Pratt and his privacy.
yeah, I'm gonna get to this because this is fucking hilarious. All of you fucking idiots who have been attacking this man on Twitter, maybe you should read it really slow, because I know half of you guys are fucking idiots. Read it really slow, maybe take in the picture of the eyebrow he's got raised because this is so fucking stupid. Anyways, in an interview with Now This Thursday, director Joe Russo said Pratt was not asked to participate because he was halfway across the world in the wrong time zone. Social media has been rifle with speculation this week about Pratt's political views after Russo's and much of the cast members reunited for the Biden fundraiser, which, by the way, Brie Larson wasn't there either. And I would think she would be there with her fucking stupid boy haircut.
Oh,
Leading
damn,
the
Zod's
charge.
all mad now. Brie Larson wasn't there.
Yeah, because I fully
Oh,
expected the shit on her, and she wasn't there either.
dude, she was busy making a video.
She was busy on YouTube talking about Chris Pratt and the patriarchy. The Russo brothers want to clear the air about actor Chris Pratt and his absence at a Biden fundraiser with much of the Avengers cast this week. And by the way, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't there either. He declined. But no one's going to come after
No.
Robert Downey Jr. because they know he would just tell them to go fuck themselves. So you don't want to mess with Downey Jr. He'll be on fucking Twitter all day. Anyways, combined with prior speculation about his beliefs. Okay, so the man being a Christian is fucking wrong, and Ellen Page and her cunt ass has been attacking him about being anti-LGBTQSWY and Z because
just say what
Christian.
LB usually says, which is the alphabet community.
Yeah, that's much better. The alphabet community, anyways, she attacked Chris Pratt because he's Christian, and she thinks that affects his views on the gay community. His beliefs has led to many social media.
Her being a fucking nut job affects her views.
I agree 100%. To speculate that he may be a Trump supporter. Dun, dun, dun. In an interview with Now This Thursday, director Joe Russo said Pratt was not asked to participate because he was halfway across the world in the wrong time zone. Pratt has been in the UK filming Jurassic World Dominion. Production was temporarily shut down in early October after the director reportedly had a few positive corona tests on site, but recently resumed. We thought it was important to defend Chris because he was being chastised for an event that we organized, Russo said, but we easily would have asked him to participate if he were here and he were available for the event. So we felt it was inappropriate that people were making assumptions about his politics and about who he is as a person, about his integrity, because they're all false. And we can tell you that because we know him personally and we know the truth. Pratt, who plays Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, worked with Anthony and Joe Russo on their blockbusters Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Russo's held Biden's campaign fundraiser along with presidential nominee Senator Kamala Harris and 700 other members of the Avengers cast on October 20th. Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Paul Rudd, Scarlett Johansson, Don Cheadle, Zoe Zidane, and Robert Downey Jr. all joined a virtual event to talk about the stakes.
You just
of
say
the
Zoe
election.
Zidane?
Whatever, you know.
Oh my God. Zoe Zaldana.
Whatever. The social media maelstrom that ensued this week about Pratt and his supposed politics was partially a result of unfortunate timing given the number of famous Chris's in Hollywood's superhero movies stars today. There's Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine are the four most often compared and contrast. Which Chris is the best Chris has become a lighthearted and recurring internet meme since at least 2014. The question reared its head again on Saturday when producer Amy Berg tweeted a post of the four quizzes and said which one has to go. As Vox explained, the internet went on doing what the internet does. It picked Pratt to go overwhelmingly with more than 10,000 replies. Why? Many of the replies and previous discussions has observed Pratt appears to be more culturally conservative than the other Chris's based on his public posts about the police, military, and support of an evangelical Christian church. Actor Ellen Page tweeted in 2019.
Well, I think you. Hold on. I think you mispronounced that word too. It's supposed to be actor is pronounced bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my mess up there. The bitch Ellen Page in 2019 tweeted about the church after Pratt talked about joining the church on a talk show. If your famous actor You belong to an organization that hates a certain group of people. Don't be surprised if someone simply wonders why it's not addressed. Being anti-LGBTQ is wrong. There aren't two sides. Okay. Yeah, every discussion has two sides.
Wait.
And
Did she ask him if he was anti-quilt bag?
No, she just said, because he's part of this church. Oh, she's going to elaborate.
Huh.
It opens its doors to absolutely everyone, which is echoed on its website. According to Vox, the church does not have any official
Fucking
positions.
Vox.
The church doesn't have any positions on the alphabet community. The church pastor, Chad, produced a film that refers to same-sex attraction as one form of sexual brokenness, comparing it to pornographic addiction. Vox also noted...
What the fuck? You've got to be kidding me. What? Can you read that again to make sure that I heard it right? What are they comparing to a pornographic addiction?
As one form of sexual brokenness, comparing it to a pornograph addiction. I mean, I have to disagree with that. Youngster me would have been really
So they
pissed
were
off
saying that being gay or bisexual or whichever letter you want to pick is like being addicted to porn.
Yeah, it's a form of being broke sexually, apparently.
Sure.
Watched a great deal of porn in my day. I don't consider myself.
I don't know who the fuck believes that, but if you want to go ahead and believe that, go ahead and ask Chris Pratt any of these fucking questions, because they didn't ask him a fucking thing, but whatever.
No, they didn't. Before the Now interview, the Russo brothers posted a statement on the Instagram story. Chris Pratt is a good man who cares deeply about his family, friends, and co-workers. He has always shown incredible love and generosity to crews, to his fans, to charity, and everyone he encounters. Normally, our policy is not to engage or lend credence to this toxic cycle of misinformation, false accusations that have become prevalent on social media. However, we are disheartened by the anonymously being the animosity anonymously, wow, that's a mouthful, being directed at him. Perhaps if we were able to redirect that energy towards self-improvement, we might find a path to a better world. I agree with you, Joe. I don't agree with your misinformation about your movies, but I agree with that. Joe Russo emphasized in this interview that the bigger story is the importance of voting for Biden-Harris in the election. You were doing good to that point. I don't think I'll glaze over that.
Redirect it to the voting booth. Biden-Harris. 20 never.
I don't think anyone can sit this one out, really. The country is at stake. He says, oh, okay, this is more about going to vote because the world's going to burn if you don't. He continued with an allusion of the ongoing controversy. Look, there's a focus out there on trying to make... I was
told the world's burning in 1998.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Al Gore.
Hey, man. I always remember America survived Andrew Jackson, you know, the guy on the $20 bill.
Yep.
We'll be fine. What's coming next, okay?
Look at our forces out there trying to make it toxic and difficult for people in our positions, or actors who voice their opinions and be heard. And it can make it complicated. And sometimes it distracts from the true message. So you have to be very careful on how you do it. But again, as I said, we're standing on the edge of a cliff, if not hanging on by one hand at this point. The Russos also spoke about the legacy of Chadwick Boseman, the late actor who played the iconic Black Panther and who was a dear friend of Senator Harris. Whether Trump is worse than an MCU villain, Thanos.
Whoa. Is that confirmed? I didn't know that they were friends.
Oh, yeah. He was at quite a few of these things before he passed away.
I'm talking about being friends with Kamala.
There's
I
a
don't
picture
know.
of them hugging each other.
Yeah, I know that he was a big fan of the Biden.
Did you
Harris
send me the
house.
picture, or did you share your screen and you want Zod to share it?
No, I didn't share the screen. I'm not looking for it again. I stumbled upon it one time, like, oh, that's interesting, and I moved on with my day like a normal fucking human being does. I don't have problems where I have to get all mad when I see shit.
I can't believe the Black Panther's such a leftist. Oh, moving on.
No, here's the thing. There's some actors in Hollywood who are choosing not to let their views be known. Recently on Joe Rogan, Matthew McConaughey came to his defense and probably torpedoed his career, but God bless you. I will always endorse you, Mr. McConaughey. You are a gentleman and a scholar, good sir. But actually, he was in a movie called The Gentleman. Anyways, it was a great movie. If you didn't see it, watch it. Anyways, he came on Joe Rogan's show and he talked about how, as an actor, you can't say anything now that is, one way or the other because you just get crucified. He goes, you can't put out anything personal, but he says the worst thing is now that you can't not say anything either, because then these people put words in your mouth. And it's funny because we all, on every channel that does this, we say constantly, we don't care about your political views, we just want you to make a show or whatever. But these weirdos are the loudest ones on the internet going, oh yeah, if you aren't with us, you're against us. You're this, you're that. And it's like, I never once, as you guys stated, heard anyone ask the man himself. He probably wouldn't say, but they didn't pose the question to him. They formed a lynch mob and they went out and went to attack him. I mean, plain and simple.
Well, yeah, they need everybody to agree with them 100%. And if you do not, you are evil and must be attacked so that you have your voice either silenced and or completely removed, because they don't want anybody to be influenced by the way that you think or any possible opinion that you could hold, no matter how rational it is.
It's astonishing to me that, that this shit is happening. And I mean, it's just crazy. And, I don't even know what to say. And speaking of weird things, let's move on here. I got.
Before we move on, though, for those in the chat that don't know what Now This or Vox are, if you know what BuzzFeed is, which is a bunch of bullshit, it's like that.
No, not all the time. These were sourced from Newsweek is running with this.
BuzzFeed does the same shit. Yeah, BuzzFeed does the same shit.
He's not saying they can't get real sources. They can source something that's real. But when they give it to you in their article they twist everything so that it doesn't mean what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah, I think these articles were pretty much from other places. I don't think they put their own
Like,
spin on it.
would you like me to give you a short example? Like a very short example?
Oh, most definitely.
Wildfire, California. Cause global warming. What are you talking about? Fact is, there is a wildfire in California. They sourced that from whoever the hell is reporting on the wildfire. So they're giving you a fact. But then, in the same fucking article, they give you the opinion. It's because of global warming. When in reality, it's most likely, like 99% of them, are caused because of poor land management.
Well, you also
And
got
someone throwing a cigarette down and then going, "Oh shit!"
Here's a couple things too. You have the eucalyptus trees. They're from Australia. That every couple of years, boom. And that's kind of basically how they germinate. Two, they have outdated wire. I read this. They have outdated wires. They're like 50 years old. But the electric
Yep.
companies can't update them because they have to focus on the green plan. And that's not the name of the plan, but I think that tells you what they have to do. So they can't update those things. So 50-year-old wires aren't going to be the stablest things out there.
Good old California. I'm really hoping the whole thing fucking burns.
So I agree with Husky. BuzzFeed, Vox, whatever the third one was, equal.
We got this covered,
bullshit.
which I'll be using here in a second. Unfortunately,
which is 100% bullshit.
No, their writing is bullshit.
No, we'll listen to what the facts are, and then we'll debunk their bullshit opinion.
Oh, by the way, PB, have you seen like a Now This video and a Vox video?
Oh, I guess not, maybe.
Oh, no, just find any of them, click them side by side. They look exactly the fucking same. I think they're the same. They might be the same people. That's why I add both of them.
All right, so keep him right in line with Marvel. So MCU fans, blast.
That's me.
MCU fans, they're blasting the Marvel choice that they picked Oscar Isaacs as Moon Knight.
Whoa. They're telling me what I'm doing?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see if I agree with them. So far, I don't.
And this is interesting because I did hear who they name in this as a strong contender, and then for some reason they switched over, which they'll cover in the article. But I do agree that this was a weird choice considering the person they originally had. So earlier this year, it was revealed that Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be named as the next casting for the title role in Moon Knight. But one of the potential drawbacks was that the actor converted to Christianity while shooting David Ayer's World War II epic drama series. And it gets better. It gets better. Because he chose to be Christian and the studio was looking for a Jewish lead to given the Mark Spector's belief.
Wait. It's because he's not a Jew?
The character of Moon Knight, Mark Spector, it is actually a huge thing in the comics. He's a Jewish superhero, and it kind of ties into why he becomes Moon Knight.
But he's an Oscar. So Oscar Isaac is an actor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
was he Jewish in the first place?
Yes, and Shia LaBeouf apparently switched to Christianity. I don't know if he's Jewish.
Okay. Here's something fun for some of those people. If you know history and stuff, most Christians were Jewish at one point.
and some Christians Jew or went to Judeanity.
It's interesting. It's in
Judaism.
history.
Yeah.
It's in history, and it's even reflected in their holy in their holy texts. Like the Bible even mentions that.
But hold on, let me get through the rest of this because they're gonna elaborate on this. Mark Spector's belief system is a huge part of the personality of the character, which is true. I've read the Moon Knight because it's basically Marvel's equivalent to Batman. Fast forward 5 months, and Oscar Isaac was now announced as the person in talks to play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Disney Plus series, which has been confirmed by him and Disney. The news went down.
Wait a sec. I gotta pause you before you continue. I realize now that they were not talking about MCU fans. They were talking about woke fans. Continue.
Yeah, so now the news went down, and a storm with the majority of fans who were excited to see a fantastic and supremely talented actor suit up and tackle one of Marvel's most complex and complicated figures. And there's now been a backlash because the 41-year-old isn't Jewish. That didn't seem to bother the Coen brothers when they cast him inside Llewyn Davis to great results. And the entry point of him being an actor is to disappear in the parts that aren't indicative of personal beliefs and ideology. Wow, they're actually writing facts.
Wait, so are they saying, like, if I become Jewish, then I can be this role, even though I have a red fucking beard? It ain't gonna look right.
No, they're saying that from what I'm gathering from reading this, that they think it's silly that he isn't being cast because he could act or whatever. Nevertheless, a certain section of the fan base have blasted Marvel's casting decision, and you can check it out. There's a bunch of tweets about ridiculous people talking about how Moon Knight should be Jewish, blah, blah, blah. This is a bad cast.
He is Jewish.
But the characters can still be Jewish people.
Yeah,
Actor
what
doesn't
the fuck
have
is...
to be.
Oh my god, why are we still hung up? Who are these fucking weirdos that need their actors to be exactly what the role is? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if that's the fucking standard that we're going to set, we are no longer going to be able to have any comic book films, TV shows, or anything like that, because there are no fucking Kryptonians out there. There are no Skrulls just walking around. What the fuck?
and I'm gonna give you
it's like reverse.
Go ahead, Simon.
This is like reverse Nazis. Oh, they're not Jewish.
Now,
yeah, what the hell?
I mean, that's what they said that's what the Gestapo said when they broke into regular German houses.
And I'm going to give you the inverse of this because now I'm going to talk to you about how you shouldn't cast, because this goes against something historically established, which Hollywood seems to have backwards, because fictional characters apparently should be casted for their roles. So let me go to the inverse now, right? You have someone not getting the part because they're not Jewish, and now
like, hey, you can't get this role. You don't have the proper amount of foreskin. What the fuck?
So now, Queen and Slim actor Jodie Turner Smith, who, if you haven't seen a picture of her, she is indeed African American, is
Wait,
cast
do I need
to play...
to see a picture of her?
Not if you know the movie Queen and Slim and know the two co-stars and what that movie is about.
I don't know the movie. I only remember the commercial vaguely, but do I need to see a picture of her because she looks like Beyonce, or I don't need to see a picture of her because she looks like Precious?
She doesn't look like either, but she is most certainly very African American. And why this plays into what they cast her as, it's ridiculous. They cast her in England on an English channel to play the Queen Annie Boyle in a new series. Now, if you guys don't know why this is ridiculous and don't know your
Because
history,
all the royals are fucking white.
no. Let me continue. The Queen Annie Boleyn was King Henry V's second wife.
That gets
King
beheaded.
Henry V of England between 1533 to 1536.
She's gonna
Anybody
have a
see
fun
what
time
the
being
problem is
beheaded.
here?
Yeah, she's gonna be beheaded. Keep saying that.
No. The Queen Annie Boleyn was pale ass white, and they cast a very, very African American woman.
Maybe, hold on, maybe her middle name is Hamilton.
No, and this is not a diversion like Hamilton where they're telling us a satirical version of history. This is an actual historical drama based on facts.
And
I'm doing
I already said it. Royals were really fucking white. Okay? Like,
so Queen
this
and
is not a thing that is like, oh no, this is not a thing that's racist stuff. I'm like, no, like all of Europe's history, all the royalty is fucking white as fuck.
Now
I get
just
that,
keep the
but
other article in mind.
He had a whole bunch of wives. Do we know? I don't know for a fact if somebody way back in the day had some black wife, one off or something like that. Like, how many black people did Thomas Jefferson sleep with? I don't know.
No, the person she's playing is his second very well-known queen. Betrayed him, so he beheaded her, but she is white, like ridiculously white, like really white.
Well, then I suppose you should probably read the article because I'm sure there's an explanation in there on why this makes perfect sense, right?
Oh, yeah. So,
fucking hell.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah, there's an explanation. I'll leave it to you guys whether it makes sense, but there's a fucking explanation. Queen and Slim star Jodie Turner-Smith will star in the Tudor-era Queen Anne Boleyn in a 3-part psychological drama.
Boleyn.
Boleyn, whatever.
That's what Lemon Pie is telling me.
He's right. Boleyn was the Queen of England from 1533 to 1536 as a second wife of King Henry VIII. Their tempestuous marriage and her execution for treason made her one of the most colorful figures in English history. The drama will explore the final months of Boleyn's life from her perspective and will follow her as she struggles to survive, to secure a future for her daughter, and to challenge the powerful patriarchy closing in around her. Just so you guys know, too, that was totally false because historically,
the powerful patriarchy.
She tried to have him fucking murdered, and he found out about her betrayal and had her executed. Which, by the way, he was in love with her, and it was one of. There were 2 women that he ever felt bad about. One was killing her because he really loved her, but she conspired with people to overthrow his rule and have him killed. And it was his advisor, Woozy, that gave him the heads up. He was cardinal. And as a matter of fact, she gave him this information, and he killed his best friend and mentor thinking it was real. And then when he found out she was full of shit, he executed her. So she was not this, figure where like, oh my God, she was under this horrible rule. He treated her quite well. And what happened was there were two kids, both of them, one was from one wife or one mistress he had, and the other one was from her. And he was scared about she was scared about what he was going to do. So she made a whole big plot to fucking overthrow him, and she lost. And what happens
He
to
wanted
losers?
a son.
They get beheaded. So she's not this fucking benevolent figure that they're making her out to be. She tried to fucking murder her husband, but we're glazing over that. Anyways,
No, she sounds malevolent.
The series was being produced by Sony Pictures and backed by Fable Pictures. Eva Hardwick Turner has written the miniseries, which is directed by Lindsay Miller. And Jodie Turner-Smith said, "I'm so excited to join these exciting filmmakers and bring in the story of one of the history's most controversial queens to the screen and diving deeper into Annie Boleyn's immense strength while examining her fatal weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Eve's script immediately captured my imagination. She's so brave. In the hands of Lindsay Miller, the legend of this formidable queen who got beheaded. I ad-libbed that part. And fierce mother will be seen as a deeply human story that is just so relevant for today. It's so relevant with the way the patriarch is holding us down."
If they want an inspiring female story, isn't Queen Elizabeth exist? Doesn't she exist?
No,
The first one?
No, man. She's
Oh,
just over there chilling like a villain.
Because what I remember, I didn't read too deeply. I kind of read like a little excerpt. She was a really good fucking leader.
She still is.
But
She's one of the few people over there that I want to have a drink with.
So
I was talking about the first one. You can't have a drink with her; she's dead.
Just to highlight this, this project is going to reframe her story and build it as a psychological thriller told from a new perspective with top talent like Jodie Turner-Smith attached. It is simply too irresistible to say no, and we are so excited to watch the finished product. I don't even know. I don't even know where to start with how wrong the history is. I mean, okay, so here's the argument, guys. If you just joined me, welcome, everyone who's here watching. Here's what we got going on. We've got this guy who wants to play Moonlight, but because he's not Jewish enough to play a fictional Marvel character, they recasted and got someone different who was Jewish enough. But on the flip side, they've got Jodie Turner, who's very much African American, to play the whitest woman in history. And not only that, but they're remixing the history to make her seem like this tragic figure trapped within the patriarchy. I'm sure they're going to cut out the part.
They should get R. Kelly to do something.
And I'm very, very, very certain. Yeah, Elizabeth was Annie Boleyn's daughter. Thank you, Jamie Vick. I'm glad someone knows their history. They are.
It's British history. Give me a fucking break.
Here's the funny part.
French history is more fun than British history. And Scotland history is fun.
If you guys haven't been keeping up, the British just destroyed Doctor Who. They're going through a leftist renaissance like I've never seen. So they've been changing all their shows and becoming more diverse, which is fucking killing their ratings. But they have sponsored this. They are literally willing to change their history to make a sham and to downplay I mean, one of the key points in their history. Like, don't get me wrong, King Henry VIII is a douchebag. He's a very interesting character. If you ever watched the Showtime show, The Tudors, the shit the man did was horrendous. I
What
mean,
do you
he
mean?
was
All
not
I
a very
know is
good
he
guy.
got married to the widow next door.
He was very much not a great guy. But in history, in this particular instance, he was very much in love with this woman. And, you know, she betrayed him and tried to have him murdered. And we are remixing this to make him probably seem like an asshole. And that she's trapped in this psychologically induced panic state from how I got, because they're making it a psychological thriller. And she's on edge and the walls are closing in from the patriarchy. This man was going to give her everything. He did not care that she had daughters, because back in the day, kings wanted sons because, you know, they wanted the legacy to go on. And during, you know, the monarchy and that all that shit, the legitimate heir was always a male.
Remember also the same line of stuff. You had to breed with other royal people around Europe.
Yeah,
keep the
so I mean,
bloodlines pure, which started having a lot of inbreeding around the time of World War One.
so I mean, you know, the times weren't that great, but King Henry, in retrospect, treated this woman very well. And history remembers
Well,
that
yeah, he had to treat her well. She was black.
And you know, history showed us that she betrayed him, so he very begrudgingly had to, you know, take her out because can't have that shit. And you know, they're gonna skip over the part probably of the betrayal and make it look like he did all of this bad shit that led to her having to think about her kids, and then she conspires, you know, because she doesn't have a choice, and then she's killed, and so heroic because she makes this heroic sacrifice. And it's like, can we stick to the history? Did he probably do fucked up shit? Yeah, he did historically. Did he cheat on her? Yes, more than likely he did. All of the kings did. They had mistresses. That's the way it was. Was it right? Was it wrong? That's
Does
more
it really
moral
count
and
as
ethical.
cheating if you're the
You know
king?
who else?
I mean, we had President Clinton get head in
was interesting female character? Well, not character, historical figure. Why did I say that? Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc. That's mostly what I know about her. Like, nothing in school dove into Joan of Arc besides that she was a good leader and that it has a picture of her in her arm. It's like everyone's like Joan of Arc, but the fucking schools don't teach you about that.
But like, okay, without getting into more of the history stuff, here's the part that is really baffling to me. Now, I saw Queen and Slim, and if I had to give a great comparison, I would say it's like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde. Now, why I don't have a problem
that's
with
what
them,
they advertise that movie as. And
now,
by the way,
why,
if it's a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, was she taking the lead and stuff?
no, you had to see the movie.
She wasn't taking the lead and being the main psychopath that did all the killing, because that's the actual Bonnie and Clyde. It's
I don't really.
Man.
That's a stream for another day. My point,
I'm telling you that's how it is historically. She was the psycho that brought Clyde along, just like Machine Gun Kelly's girlfriend gave him his machine gun and influenced his life of crime.
But
a lot of crazy bitches in history, man.
But no, here's my point. Here's my point to that, though. I didn't have them a problem with them remixing that, because it was more of the ideal behind the story that they were keeping. So, you know, and those aren't really historical figures per se. Now, the difference
inspired, wasn't it? Because it didn't take place more in a modern history.
Yeah. Whereas this is doing a direct historical depiction of a person. And that's where you have the issues with casting. Okay, now let's look at Moon Knight. Moon Knight is not based off of anything but a fictional character. You can change aspects of the character because it's fucking fictional. There's been many different versions of, Moon Knight, Hulk, Captain America, all those. You can play around with that because it's a fucking fictional character. But changing history just because you don't like how the history ends, one, it gives these younger kids a obscured view of how the history went down, and two, it's denying shit that happened in your culture. Look, we've all done terrible fucking things throughout history. Why is there this renaissance of burying the truth because you don't like the way the facts played out, right, PB? You're always talking about facts. They
Man,
don't like the facts, so they want to
remember,
alter
I know who
the
else
facts.
who altered stuff in history and hid things from history. Stalin. Until the 90s, when the Soviet Union fell, they didn't talk about or teach about World War One because it was believed to be a capitalist war. There's a few other things they hid in their history too. And there's some things in Germany that were burned or a little forgotten, which makes it really hard when you read about German history of what happened before, Prussia, because Hitler kind of idolized that idea of an empire.
And welcome, Bitchy Unicorn. If you guys don't know, historically, that is the beautiful lady who cohabitates the fandom zone. Anyways, PB, you want to read this comment right here? Because I think it's a very well-stated comment by Miss Jamie Vick.
The culture at the time in England was such that it was a patriarchal society, as were all societies of the time. Women were used to that, so they would not have seen that as a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they want to literally rewrite the history of the show. And I went on Twitter and I seen the responses to this, and it was hilarious because 90% of the people who were seeing this, there were those wackos in the 10%, but 90% of the people were like, there was this white guy that I know, that's hilarious. He's called the Fat Steven Seagal. He wrote a comment and he goes, "Coming soon, I'll be playing Gandhi." It's like the response for this has been so hilarious because look, I don't have a problem with, when you make a historical drama, there's things and stuff that don't work for a movie format. You have to cut out things, you have to omit some things that just have to be changed. That's been happening since they've been making these historical dramas or based on actual events. They're loosely, we all know. But changing a whole entire character and how stuff went down, that doesn't sit well with me. I hate that because I like historical dramas. I like stuff like Tudors. I love Vikings. I love things that have to do with history, stuff that they've had on Netflix with the Roman Empire. I love all that shit. But I like it to be accurate too, because when I'm watching something about history, I'm watching it because I see the historical facts coming to life, not because I'm watching them.
Whenever I watch stuff about history, I'm just waiting for either Iron Man to show up or Darth Vader.
Could you picture that museum? Lord Darth Vader was responsible for killing the younglings during the Old Republic. Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious to watch a history class in a galaxy far, far away. And be like, the great Master Yoda tried to usurp the Empire. But no.
Yeah, except Yoda was purple.
I think that this is ridiculous. I think that this didn't need to be made. And I think the UK is becoming disgusting with the way that they are bastardizing their own history.
That's because they're ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, man. You get ashamed when you conquer all the world and oppressed it. And then they go after us. It's like, shut up. By the way, fun fact. The United Kingdom, who I've seen British people, they brag, oh, we ended slavery first. They recognize the Confederate States of America as its own sovereign nation.
They're woke as hell.
Read this one by Bitchy Unicorn, because I remember this, and I only got 5 seconds into this, and so did Bitchy. It was fucking the worst ever. You guys can see this on Disney Plus. Go ahead, PV.
Let's just watch the live action Lady and the Tramp with the mixed races and black people being involved with them whites. No, you never wash your whites with your colors.
But no, I mean, it's diversity just to and I got this phrase from Mr. LB. Shout out if you're out there.
Wait, this is going to be a movie?
No. LB, it talks about them tokenizing entertainment, and people just going along with it and thinking that that's the kind of representation that the black community is asking for. And look, I don't pretend to know what kind of entertainment that certain races want, or if they even want their culture mentioned in entertainment at all. Why does it have to be a cultural thing? Why can't it just be about something that people universally like? People universally like heroes. People universally like watching shit about the mafia. People universally like crime
people
dramas.
universally like the first season of Heroes, but after that it got weird.
Yeah, it did. I stuck it out though to the end. I love Siler. Siler's my boy. That's why I have my email like that. I've never changed that. But yeah, that was my homeboy, and then I don't know what the fuck happened. There was all sorts of weird shit going on, time travel and save the cheerleader, save the world. That was... And then they fucking saved the cheerleader, and I'm like, okay, well, you got... Yeah, I was like, you guys made the most, like, hashtagged anything. Like, dude, you could not go anywhere without hearing that when that show came out. And they were like, what does it mean? And then like,
save the cheerleader, and I seen the cheerleader. I was like, yeah, I'd probably save that cheerleader for sure.
Oh yeah, I saved Claire. Anyways, the whole point of this is, look, you can't sit here and cherry pick what you want or what you consider culturally appropriating, because it's such an asinine argument at this point. And I've showed you 2 different shows, both by American companies, but they're handpicking what they want to culturally appropriate, what they deem as okay to shit on. And it just astonishes me that no one else is calling this bullshit out. Well, there are people who are, but I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. I'm so sick of hearing all of these roles and stuff, and directors coming out. They're solely casting. They're solely constructing their story on race, gender, nationality. They're not focusing on story. They fuck story. As long as we have the check boxes, then
now are they going and making sure to go back to the previous article, I think, with Oscar Isaac? Are they checking when they were casting for that role? Like, okay, you look like you're Jewish, drop your pants.
Like, I don't even know, like, what's your favorite verse in what is it they have? Is it the Quran or is it? I don't know what they're.
I just call it the Old Testament because I'm a Christian.
They do have a Bible, but it's the Old Testament.
Yeah, you know, it's
the Quran is for Muslims, you dum-dum.
Well, see, in Krypton, we don't associate by culture.
Okay, well, Jamie Vick's going to say the answer, I'm sure, in the comments. So before I look down and see her saying it, it's called the Torah.
There we go. I knew it was something.
They also have the Book of Creation.
But like, here's the thing. They should just stop talking about this stuff because right now we're in a current state where you really should just not even attempt to go near politics or religion. It's just a minefield and it's ridiculous. But speaking of ridiculous, Netflix is raising their prices for standard and premium subscription. This comes to us from IndieWire. So we have this to look forward to. I got to cancel my subscription soon. Netflix is increasing the price.
You have a subscription to IndieWire? Unbelievable.
No, to Netflix.
Like, IndieWire is free. Why are you paying these people?
Come on, you know I pay everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Netflix is increasing the price of its standard and premium plans. The price for Netflix HD standard subscription is increasing from $12.99 per month to $13.99 per month, while its 4K premium subscription is going from $15.99 to $17.99. That is quite a bit. That's a $2 price jump right there.
Hey, how much is HBO Max?
Yeah, that's
$17.99.
No, HBO Max is $15, and you can get it for like 3 months free right now. Not that I'm
4K,
but here's the thing between HBO Max and Netflix. You got a lot of shit on Netflix.
A lot more.
Yeah, but you can't make that argument because they have HBO's library.
No,
HBO's library
with the entire HBO library, it doesn't even come close to Netflix. Don't give me this shit, guy. It's not even close.
We're talking about all of 90s HBO, which is The Sopranos, The Wire, 6 Feet Under, Oz.
Yeah, you're going to name all these things, and I could equal that just going through one country of television shows. Not to mention all of the original Netflix movies, and then you go to another country, and another country, and another country.
Yeah, how many
You've
of
got
those
to be kidding me.
actually get watched, though? You can have a bunch of content, and still, how many people
How
are
much
watching
content on HBO Max? I'm not going to sit here and watch a bunch of shit I don't care about.
Okay, between this, I know Disney Plus has more content than HBO Max if you're going to say, all their old stuff, because Disney has a bunch of old crap.
Nah, that's the problem with Disney is that they don't have enough stuff to. That was our very argument, is that they only have that stuff. But HBO just brought the Snyder Cut. You're going to kill all these people. The fucking Snyder Cut is going to be.
Here's probably why, before we get to it, here's probably why Netflix is going up in price. Because Viacom's starting to put some of their stuff on there, and you know what Viacom likes, and I've told everyone what does Viacom like? Money.
Yeah,
that's all they fucking care about.
100%. Those guys are shiesty.
Ooh, I have to read a comment that Jamie Vick said in was it 3 minutes ago that I just read. It says, "You're right, PB. Thank you."
Anyways, on Thursday, the streaming service announced that the basic $8.99 plan, which does not include HD streaming, is unaffected by these charges. The streaming service's last price hikes were in January 2019. The price changes took effect on Thursday for new subscribers. Current Netflix customers will be notified through email and will also receive a notification within the app 30 days ahead of the price increase. Oh, that I should have read that email. The timing will be based on specific subscribers' billing cycles and rolled out in the course of the next 2 months. We understand people have more entertainment choices than ever, and we're committed to delivering even better experiences to our members, like the groundbreaking movie Cuties. Oh, I'm sorry, too soon.
Jesus Christ.
I had to get that dig in. Netflix spokesman said in a statement, "We're updating our prices so that we can continue to offer more variety in TV shows, films, in additions of a great fall lineup. As we always, we offer a range of plans so that people can pick the price that works for their budget." Wall Street took kindly to the news. Netflix stocks went up about 5% in the hours after the price hikes news broke. The price changes were announced several days, reported its quarterly 3 earnings, where the company narrowly missed its projections for new subscribers. The mixed Q3 earnings aside, Netflix has fared better than most in the streaming competitors since the pandemic began disrupting entertainment industry, and the streaming service enjoyed large subscriber increase earlier this year, which, if you guys don't know, Netflix dropped a bunch of shit. We were talking about this. Remember, I said they strategically
yeah,
planned
we were just talking about it.
Yeah, they dropped a bunch of new shows.
We even joked that the virus was a Netflix conspiracy.
Yeah, yeah, and their quarterly earnings shot up. I bet you if you look at the quarterly earnings for anyone else, they took a hit, as the article is saying, but their stock fucking went up 5%.
We even talked about, like, oh, why was Netflix losing, like, because people thought it was doing bad because it wasn't making a lot, it was losing money, and they were like, oh, this is why they were losing money, because they were paying all the people that made these shows.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing for all you wacky people who came on and all the videos I saw. Netflix is crashing and burning. According to this article, they went up this quarter 5% in the stock market. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but that's a fucking huge hike compared to Amazon, who not only does streaming, but they have an actual fucking shipping service, and they're still neck and neck with Amazon competitively. Both of those two are dominating, which I got an article about them in just a minute. But I mean, so that shows you Netflix is not in trouble. This illusion that everyone has that Netflix is going downhill, you need to fucking wake up. Netflix is not going anywhere, and these streaming services are directly competing with them. They are directly competing with Netflix. Fucking Bob and Bob, fucking Bezo or whoever the fuck, all of those rich pricks, they are directly in competition with Netflix, and they are not winning. So if you think they're going anywhere, you're wrong. How do you say it, PB, about the numbers? Go ahead. You got.
How do I say what about who?
The numbers. What are you always saying about numbers?
Oh, numbers don't lie. People do.
Exactly. People's opinions are just that. Opinions. Numbers, statistics, and shit written down on spreadsheets is facts. That's tangible proof. You can hold it, you can touch it, you can verify it. Those don't lie. Well,
I am not touching your sheets, man.
I wouldn't want you to touch sheets, but I mean, I'm not advocating. Look, Netflix does a lot of shitty, shisty things. We've read the articles on it, but on the business side, just because you're hoping a company is going to go down in massive flames doesn't make it so. They're not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, they've been very smart business-wise. They're releasing a bunch of new shows. They just ordered a bunch of shows. They just got a bunch of original movies that are coming out.
Of course they ordered a bunch of shows. They just raised their fucking prices.
which will pay for the new shows. The only people I could see who are matching them with the capital are people who are throwing $80 million at directors who can't direct.
All right.
Sorry. I had Zack Snyder name caught in my throat there. Bad.
Yeah, did we make it to that fucking story yet?
No, because I want to go to the Mverse. Amazon. Don't worry, we're getting to Snyder next because I got one good thing about DC, and then I've got the ever looming dark cloud on DC. Anyways, Amazon argues users don't actually own purchased Prime Video content. Before we start, I like being able to buy shit, but after I read this, I was like, wow, Amazon is a bunch of assholes. So the streamer says its terms of use are clear. What viewers are paying for is a limited license. When Amazon Prime Video users buy content from its platform, what they are really paying for is limited license for an on-demand viewing over an indefinite period of time. And they're warned of that in the company's terms of use. That's the company's argument for why a lawsuit over a hypocritical future deletions of contents should be dismissed. In April, Amanda Claudel sued Amazon for unfair competition and false advertisement. She claims the company secretly reserved the right to end consumers' access to content purchased through its Prime Video service. She filed her punitive class action on behalf of herself and any Californian resident who purchased video content from the service from April 25th.
Of course, only California, where the alleged happy cows live. Bullshit.
Now, on Monday, Amazon filed a motion to dismiss her complaint, arguing that she lacks standing to sue because she hasn't been injured and nothing.
Whoa!
That
Isn't
she's
this
purchased...
chick cripple?
I don't believe so, but nothing that she's purchased 13 titles on Prime since filing her complaint. Plaintiff claims that the defendants, Amazon's Prime Video service, which allows consumers to purchase video content for streaming or download, misleads the consumers because sometimes that video content might later be unavailable if third-party right holder revokes or modifies Amazon license. Now, I want to stop right here and say something. That means they charge you the price, which is supposed to be you own that. So say you get like Joker, okay? I'm going to use that. Shout out to Stevie J, Raw. Joker fans for life. Say you've purchased Joker, right? And you're all fucking happy. You didn't have to go to the store. Fuck that. You got it on Amazon. It's got the special features. You can watch it one after the other. Well, say Warner Bros. Says, hey, we're moving everything to HBO Max. So Joker's not going to be on Amazon. It's not going to be on Netflix. It's only exclusively going to be available on our platform as long as you have a subscription. Amazon only has the rights for that product for so long. And then, it gets rotated out of their service. Even though you've paid the purchase price of like going to Walmart and buying the DVD, it's the same exact price like you own it. They can still remove it with your fucking purchase from your list. So you've wasted $20. It's gone. You've purchased something under the assumption that it is for you to own. And then they say, nah, our license got pulled. Sorry, we gotta take it off. This is why it is a terrible idea to buy this shit. And the same thing goes for PlayStation, Xbox, all these people who buy these fucking games online because they don't want to get physical media. This is why physical media should not be disappearing, because of the issue of licensings and rights. These things switch constantly.
Give that to LB for his argument. But when you're speaking of PlayStation and Xbox, there was a licensing issue with the Lego and Warner. Was it? I don't know. Lego, Warner, Warner, the Tolkien family, maybe something went on where they lost the license for the Lego Lord of the Rings game and the Hobbit games. So if you digitally downloaded it and you had it, you have it still. If you have the physical copy, you have it still, but nobody can download that game ever because of that thing, which is what should happen. If you lose the license, people should still own the thing they paid for.
But in this
you shouldn't
case,
take it away from someone, which is what Amazon's doing. So,
yeah, in this case, those owners got to keep that, right? If they downloaded, they paid the full price, like you went to the store and brought it, right? They got to keep that. On the flip side, Amazon is saying you don't actually get to keep, even if you paid the DVD price like it's pay to own, you don't have to give it back. They don't take it back after a certain amount of time because you didn't rent it, you brought it. They still reserve the right to take it off of your list, to remove it from your playlist. That is fucked up. Like, you know, I brought seasons of stuff just because I couldn't find it and Amazon had it and I didn't, the physical media just wasn't available, whatever. It wasn't in print anymore. There's certain shows like that. But now it's like this rare gem I might find. If that license gets changed or something, I might not be able to ever fucking get the piece of media. And they could just go and remove it from your list and it'd just be fucking gone. This is the reason why Netflix has the edge over these companies. I don't know. PB, what do you think? Do you think it's fair that if you pay, say, you pay for, let me see what you like. Say you pay for Iron Man 3 because you like that Trevor twist, right?
Greatest Christmas movie ever.
Yep, you brought Iron Man 3. You fucking watch that Trevor scene religiously. You love it. And then one day you go to fire up your Amazon Prime. You know, you go to watch this, your movie you purchased and paid full price for, and it's fucking gone. No explanation, no letter.
I panicked, but then I handled it because I bought physical media because apparently these guys can do whatever they want because it's in the contract, people. I always thought that. I was always skeptical of anything that lets you buy a digital game, movie, whatever it is. And they're like, hey, you can just buy it here and it'll just be available to you right in. I was like, well, will it be? Or will it just be until you don't want to support it any longer? Or until you're unable to support it any longer, as is the case with these movies? Because that would be some total bullshit that you wouldn't be expecting because you didn't read the fine print. Because we're not all Sheldon Cooper and read the fucking fine print. I don't read the fucking fine print. I go, oh, $10. It was on sale. We can just buy it right here digitally and have it for all of eternity. And then you come back the next week and they go, oh, you know that $10 that you gave us? We're going to keep that because it's totally legal. And there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it. And you go, well, shit.
two things. One, Jamie Vick, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. She said, I hate to say this because I've been having such a good time after Hell Week, but it's time for me. So till next time, probably tomorrow. And we'll have a charged political discussion tomorrow night at 10. You have some very level-headed views, so I can't wait to see you
Well,
on
we were
that at 10
glad to
p.m.
entertain you, Jamie Vick, and I hope you continue to feel better.
Did you want to put what Lemon Pie put up? Because I think this is a totally logical statement here.
Turn sideways, phone. Here we go. Lemon Pie says, maybe they ought to have to refund the price at least. I mean, you would think that they'd be able to do that, but I don't see how any one of those companies at any point would have the money set aside, because they just don't run the business that way. That, hey, we had, let's say, 1,000,000 people pay us $10 a piece for this movie. So that's $10 million, right? That's super easy math for everybody. Excellent. So you got $10 million sitting there, and now you've lost the licensing fee to that. They don't have $10 million in some side account that they've created for refunds on movies that they don't have the licensing fees anymore to. Because that would be the best case scenario. I agree. Is that I bought something, I'm not allowed access to it, you need to give me the money back. Now, the real question becomes, what happens if you purchase it, it goes off, and then it comes back? Do you have to repurchase it?
Yeah, that is a good question, and the article doesn't say. And where they say this in their terms of service that they're arguing, because I pulled up the doc for it, they say it at the very bottom in paragraph 3, subsection. It's in Roman numerals. It's a really big subsection, and it does say they do reserve the right to remove anything due to licensing issues, but it's in their physical copy. Who reads the digital one when you sign up? I know there's a digital copy. I fucking seen it. You got to scroll all the way the fuck down and put agree. But no one fucking reads that. I'm not going through 13
You're like, oh
fucking
my God,
pages.
this looks like a waste of my time. Scroll faster, machine.
Yep. Also, here's the thing, like PB said, it's like, who has time to read that? And he said, no one. The only time you should be reading a contract is when it does something like make a life-altering decision. So making an account is not a life-altering decision. Signing a business agreement, maybe a mortgage on your for maybe something on foreclosure, or stuff like that. That's where you read the fine print with the contract, or get a lawyer to help you read it for you.
I shouldn't have to read
apparently you have to get a fucking lawyer to read an Amazon contract.
If you get I finish. Yeah. Or if you get an investor to invest in something in your thing, you're definitely going to read that, because you don't want to get McDonald's.
No, you got to get them to read everything now, because you have to make sure that your $5 on sale purchase is secure for the rest of time.
I mean, it's ridiculous, because we're not talking about one or two things. This person lost 13 titles. Do you know how much money they probably...
Follow-up question. Here's a follow-up question. So I purchased this movie because you said it's 13. So I'm assuming she didn't purchase these 13 titles last week. She purchased them over the course of time, probably over the course of several years, which means that I don't know how far we can go back. Let's say a decade. So she bought a movie in 2010 for $10. What's that $10 worth in 2020, in 2030, in 2040? Are you going to refund me with interest so I'll be able to purchase an equivalent movie?
Yeah, that was my next thing, because it doesn't say. At the very least, they don't have to refund you, but they should have to credit you that, so that you can get something of equal value for the purchase that you had. I mean, at the very, they literally like calling this lady a liar or whatever and condemning her, but at the very least, they do offer credits back. They do offer you the ability to take money if something didn't work, because I've had it happen to me where I've downloaded something and it's fucking glitchy, or something happens on their end and they've credited me back and I've gotten something different. So I mean, would it really cost them that much to just simply be like, okay, this title is no longer available, we will give you something for the same or less as what you paid for this, as like a fucking credit that you can use towards anything you want in our Prime library? How fucking hard would that be for them to do?
That would be something that would be relatively easy for them to do. And it technically wouldn't cost them anything, because they've already paid the licensing fee on said movie, because it's already on the server or system or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it'd be just like you swapping one thing for another. It doesn't cost the company nothing. It doesn't cost the consumer anything, but they refuse to even do that.
I mean, if we're talking about costing somebody something, the only thing that it costs the company is lost revenue, because you're not able to charge that person for a new movie, but it doesn't cost them anything as in having to refund somebody something.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they would have just at least come up with another alternative, like, hey, due to your contract that you didn't read, whatever, which I think is shitty to begin with, but all right, so you made the mistake, you didn't read the contract, you're not Sheldon. So you didn't read through the contract and see the little fucking fine print in a subsection that no one would ever fucking look at. But here's what we're going to do. We will offer you this as compensation. You can get something for these 13 titles. We'll give you whatever the equivalent is, and you can go through the library and pick from this selection that has or holds the same or equal value. You know what I mean? They're already a member, so they'll buy new stuff if you are willing to meet the consumer.
There's only one subsection that I ever read, and that is subsection D.
But I mean,
never skip that section. I read it from top to bottom.
I mean, so the highlight here is, I think that I don't think that
Amazon's trying to fuck people, because Bezos apparently doesn't have enough money, being the richest man in all of human history.
He's a real
net
piece
wealth,
of shit.
not his liquid wealth. Remember that.
Whatever.
So finally, we're to PB's favorite. See, let's talk about Justice League. Because, oh boy, they are kissing Zack Snyder's ass. I've never seen a man who's got so many people up his ass. I literally think all of the media is just permanently in Zack Snyder's asshole.
Dude, he just got $70 million for a spit shine. I'll go in his fucking asshole with a fucking tweezers to get out some money.
Justice
League. I gotta put on gloves though, because Corona.
Justice League. All of the DC characters being added into the Snyder Cut. The original Snyder Cut. The unaltered, untampered Snyder Cut. The
214! 214!
214 has all of this new shit. The Snyder Cut only continues to keep DC fans brimming with anticipation as a new revelations
That's
have come to
my
light.
anticipation.
In
I purposely
addition,
I was yawning, but I made sure to fucking put that in the mic.
in addition to the expected sight of Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Aquaman, Cyborg, and The Flash, other characters who were previously excluded from the 2017 theatrical release of Justice League will be involved in director Zack Snyder's new official, let me just highlight this, new official cut. New official cut. Not old, not OG, not previously.
Oh, no
released.
214?
No 214. The new official cut.
Can't we just call it the Snyder edition because it's not a cut? I swear I've read something. There was a casting call for someone.
Yeah, this is just counting the baddies whose role in the films are being expanded from one brief fight scene, such as God of War Ares, originally played by David, I'm not saying that last name, or a post-credit sequence where Jesse Eisenberg's Les Luthor and Joe Magnanello
Manganello.
thank you, as Slade, Deathstroke Wilson. Several fans of the favorite DC characters, mostly through reshoots, will be added into 4-hour cut. Not 214, 4-hour cut, which will be presented in 4 separate chapters when it drops exclusively on HBO Max 2021. Some of these characters will be a reprise from the original DCU installment, while others are making their live-action debut, or at least their official
Snyderverse
debut into the franchise. I have the utmost respect for the kind of fan who would rather go into this new edition of the Justice League with a freshly clean slate and discover the newly added characters as they appear on screen for first viewing. However, not only is the sort of feat nearly impossible these days,
Not a single fucking person who's gonna watch this goddamn cut of bullshit is gonna have not seen Justice League.
but since a comic book movie, wait, hold on. However, not only is the sort of feat nearly impossible these days, but such comic book movies rarely exist. So, for those who cannot keep a lid on their anticipation, and I understandably so, the following is a comprehensive list of the characters that should be expected to show up in the Snyder cut, starting with one I never would have expected to get the last laugh at all. The Joker, featuring Jared Leto, is a stunning, award-winning, Oscar-nominated. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Joaquin Phoenix. Sorry about that. Sorry. I messed up my end.
He got the Oscar in that one.
In 2016, Jared Leto performed a new take on Batman's clownish arch nemesis in Suicide Squad that was polarizing, to say the least, and wasn't even fucking in the movie. You can't say it was polarizing. He had 4 scenes in a 2-hour fucking movie. I can't judge someone's performance.
God, I hope that motherfucker is in the movie and we make it all the way to the end, and then Joaquin shows up and murders his bitch ass and goes, "He ain't a Joker."
Or he just shoots him and says, "You get what you fucking deserve."
Oh man, that's so much better.
Nice costume, kid.
Oh, including Leto himself arguing the portrayal was not enough screen time to judge properly. Well, it appears the Academy Award winner, which wasn't for Joker, who has also joined the Sony Marvel family as the vampire Morbius, which looks fucking awesome. I think he'll be better in that role. Will be given
a
fair
character
shot.
that makes sense for him.
yeah. You know, casting someone who fits the character, that's a fucking crazy idea.
I'm just a little disappointed they didn't find an actual vampire for Morbius. Like, what the fuck, guys?
I know, vampire representation. There's a lot of gothic people out there who think they're fucking vampires. You can find one of those fucking weirdos. Anyways, Zack Snyder's Justice League, a completely new idea for the upcoming recut that could mean we will finally see Ben Affleck interact with his universe's Prince of Crime, Darkseid, portrayed by Ray Porter, while Jared Leto's Joker is getting a second chance in the Snyder Cut, getting his first chance as Darkseid, a new god from Apocalypse, a tyrannical leader created by Jack Kirby in 1970, hell-bent on conquering the universe by suppressing all hope and free will. Actor Ray Porter, who recently played multiple roles, including an audio adaptation of Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, which I gotta say he did a really good job in that, will star as the iconic villain in a motion captured performance for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Who's playing Granny Goodness?
I don't know. We'll get to that because they're going to be in this probably along with every other fucking DC person.
It better be fucking Kathy Bates.
Oh, that'd be a great. Oh, that's a marvelous cast.
I know.
Technically, making the character's live action film debut. Desaad. If you guys don't know, he's one of the accolades of Apocalypse.
Like
played
he's the cult looking guy, Desaad.
Yeah, even the most power hungry, egocentric tyrants need a right hand man, and that is what Desaad has been to Darkseid since he manipulated him to his level as a child, turning him into a deceptive, sadistic torture specialist. He is known for today. The veteran English actor Peter Guinness will be using motion capture to portray the villain, who looks a lot like the monstrous from a brief glimpse at the Snyder Cut trailer than the comics depicted him.
Wait, are they doing CG for Desaad?
Yep.
You don't need CG for Desaad.
No, this is the Snyder Cut. You need CG for everything.
You just need a guy in a robe.
Come on, stop thinking practical. This is Zack Snyder. We need to fucking CGI.
It's gonna be a guy in a green robe.
And they made fun of George Lucas for using CGI in the prequels, but he didn't actually use as much as people think.
I can't say his name, but Willem Dafoe played him in Aquaman. You know, the guy who was in it for like 3 seconds, who was like the mentor to Aquaman. He's gonna be in it.
Oh, I love William Dafoe. So now the Snyder Cut will be good because of William Dafoe. And
the guy who was the mentor to Aquaman is gonna be who?
He's gonna be the same thing he was in Aquaman. He's gonna just make an appearance, probably like a 5-second thing, like, "Hey, I'm in this movie too." He's gonna
William Dafoe save the entire movie.
He's gonna be in a fucking flashback from Aquaman. I don't give a fuck. This is oh my god.
No, man. He's there to save the entire movie because it's William Dafoe.
Husky wasn't gonna watch this, but now he's fucking in it.
William Dafoe. Hey man, you'd be surprised. My brother convinced me into watching a movie because William Dafoe was in it.
So you weren't gonna watch Spider-Man, and then you did?
No. It was some other. I think it was Death Note on Netflix.
Oh God! Oh, don't. Okay,
William
anyone who
Dafoe's in
wants
it.
to see my opinion, go to my review that says "I wish I had a Death Note" and go watch it. But by that title, you can guess what I think of Death Note. I wish I had the fucking Death Note to kill myself. Anyways.
But William Dafoe was awesome.
Here's the funniest cat. The Atom, who, if anyone knows who the Atom is, it's Ray Parker. Will be played by a Chinese man named Ryan Zhang.
That's hurtful. They already have a Ray Parker.
Yeah. So
or Palmer. It says Parker, not Palmer.
No, that was my bad, Palmer. But
Okay,
this guy
thank you.
is going to be played by Ryan Zhang from The Great Wall. You guys remember that movie?
Ryan Zhang from Great Wall.
I
Yes.
remember the ads for
That's
that
my
movie, and they had Matt Damon on all the ads, and I'm like, is this supposed to take place in ancient China? Because he's like the whitest dude there, unless he's like someone trading from Europe, but I don't think he would be if it was ancient China.
Yeah, he was. Don't. If you want to see gross historical inaccuracy, that movie was wow. Anyways, this guy is going to be the successor of Ray Palmer and don the suit that ended up on the cutting room floor. They're rendering his involvement in Justice League. It'll be a blink and you missed it Easter egg.
Wait, the Atom suit?
Yeah, he's going to be donning the Atom suit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, he's going to fuck over everything.
Are they going to make it look like something modern, or are they going to go full spandex Atom
Dude,
suit?
they're going full fucking ridiculous bullshit. It's going to look like a mixture between The Flash and Cyborg. Guaranteed.
Oh, so they won't do what they did, I forget, for John Cena's character in the Suicide Squad coming up. Because it looks like they just took the comic and said, fuck it, here's what it looks like if it was real.
Yep.
And I'm like, I've seen that, I'm like,
Snyder
I
does.
like this. I'm like, I looked at that, I'm like, I like this. It looks like straight from the comic. But it works because of what the seriousness of the Suicide Squad's supposed to be.
You tell me one comic book character that Zack Snyder has made that looks just like his comic book counterpart at any moment in any comic book run.
Oh, people say that the Batman looks like the Dark Knight Batman.
He don't.
Yeah, that is true. He did capture that pretty decently, and I like the Dark Knight run, which was done by Frank Miller, which was an amazing comic that Zach took his dick out and fucked
people
in the
are
ass.
seeing that with his emotions or with their emotions. Sorry, ladies.
Anyways,
all two of you.
Welcome Nico, welcome Wookiee Supremacy. We're talking about the great
What's up,
Snyder
Wookiee?
Cut. Anyways, I got two more here, guys. Eleanor Stone, who I don't know why they're gonna put her in this because she's only in it for a couple of seconds before he becomes fucking Cyborg. That's Cyborg's
his
girlfriend.
mom?
No,
girlfriend.
Yep.
Then why is her last name Stone?
Oh, I'm sorry, his mom. That was my bad.
Thank you.
I skipped down to Iris West, who's played by the most horrible actress from the most horrible fucking movie I saw, Antebellum, which if you guys want to see a great comedy, go check that out because apparently white people still own slaves and it's a slave park somewhere in Georgia. So, oh, I'm sorry. Spoilers if you wanted to see that shitty movie. I just saved you. Anyways.
You didn't tell me who the actress was.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't even worth mentioning. Creasy Clemens, I think. I don't know. I glazed over it. Anyways, Martian Manhunter, the only cast I do like, played by Harry Lennox. Great actor. He is going to be the Martian Manhunter, which is actually probably one of the best casts I've seen here. But he was in Man of Steel. He played the general that talks to Superman at the end. And he was also in Dawn of Justice. So he's actually Martian Manhunter. So I buy that because that's pretty well, it's mostly close. It's as close as Snyder gets. What do you think? Are you excited by the upcoming sight of Calvin Stanwyck as the real Martian Manhunter? What do you guys think of Zack Snyder's Justice League? To find out if that dream will eventually come true, be sure to check back for additional information and updates on the Snyder Cut, as well as even more insight that's going into the world of this comic book adaptation.
Is Ryan Reynolds coming back as Hal Jordan?
They're actually talking to him to come back on the DC show for the Green Lantern series. So,
oh, it's going to be hard. That's going to be really hard to convince Ryan, man.
Sorry, I gotta apologize to Nico. Apparently, he did want to see Antebellum. I ruined it for him. I'm sorry that now you will not get to pay. That you will not get to pay $15 for that atrocious abomination. I'm such a terrible villain. Anyways, does this pique your interest? Are you excited with this extra hour of footage that they're adding in all of this bullshit to put an even more convoluted story on an already convoluted story?
Are you reading this or are you making this up?
I said Hal Jordan,
I made that part
but I forgot. Jon Stewart. Are they going that route with Green Lantern?
No, the new Green Lantern's going to be the diverse Green Lantern. They're not going Jon Stewart because we can't.
The fuck does that mean, the diverse Green Lantern?
They're doing
an alien?
No, they're doing which one? There was Hal Jordan, and then who's the other one? I never liked Green Lantern.
Just fucking said his name.
No, there's another one.
Kyle Rayner, that one ginger guy. I always forget his name.
Jon Stewart is the black one, and the only one that we care about.
Yeah, they're going with the female Green Lantern.
There was no a female Green Lantern. Nope.
Yeah, there is in the comic run.
There's a few of them, but they're no one's okay. The two most popular after they killed off Hal Jordan because he wasn't working. He came back. He got popular. Was Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, and people love Jon Stewart.
Yeah, they're going with Jon Stewart for a little bit, and then they're switching over.
Okay, well, if they bring in Jon Stewart, they gotta bring in Hawk Girl. Do it up.
No, yeah. And Hawk Girl is not going to be in it. No.
How do you know?
Because
he's got 36 extra minutes to fill, allegedly.
Is boring Hawkman going to be in there?
No, this is different. The Green Lantern series.
No, Michael Shanks is fat now.
No, that casting has nothing to do with Justice League. Justice League is not going to have Green Lantern at all.
How do you know these things? I will guarantee you that there is at least one character that we don't know revealed in part 4. There won't be in the first 3 parts, but it'll be in part 4.
Came out and said that he couldn't put Green Lantern in there because it doesn't work with his story. He's come out and debunked that.
He's a fucking lying piece of crap!
Well, also HBO Max has come out. They don't want him to do Green Lantern because it directly interferes with the Green Lantern series coming out. So they want to keep them separate.
Which Green Lantern?
Any of them. They don't want any of them because they got their own storyline they're doing with it.
A Sinestro solo movie.
Interesting. Sounds like everybody's in on the lie. Good to know.
So, here's a bit of good news. HBO Max reportedly wants Gal Gadot for the Titans spin-off series. Fuck yeah. In production is Titans Season 3, which is underway right now, DC TV series are continuing to expand their storylines in exciting ways, such as Jason Todd becoming the Red Hood. Fuck yeah. It definitely feels like another spin-off is on the horizon following Doom Patrol, or maybe even several others could be in the works. Then, seeing as the show is already built up such a full verse of the DC universe, and one that could be happening is a solo vehicle for Wonder Girl, which will lead up to a major DCEU crossover. Insider Michael Sutton is claiming that HBO Max is keen on making the Wonder Girl series, given how popular Wonder Woman character has been in the movies. In fact, their hope is apparently to get Gal Gadot on board for some kind of cameo appearance, probably in the first episode. Sutton explains the concept as small-scale version of what Marvel is doing with their movie TV crossovers on Disney+. A Wonder Girl show is definitely likely that it is in the works this year. Not to mention that while the season 2 final of Titans saw Connor Leslie's Donna Troy, I don't know if I want to say that. Well, spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. Stuff happens to a character, and then things progress in the story. Jump a line in your article.
Basically, because of what happens to certain characters, they have to go back to the mascara. So, depending on if her situation changed, as it will be addressed in season 3. Wow, I had to be wordy with that. That would be a natural way to kick off the series. As for how Gadot could factor into things when the DCU and the Titans universes are definitely not the same, Sutton has provided an answer. He says that the logistics behind the crossover will all become clear after the Flash movie, which we know will pull a flashpoint and realign the DC multi-universe, bringing a few different continuities together in the process. HBO Max is definitely looking to capitalize on the potential of the DC world on the platform and exploring the Amazonian side of the universe, while getting Gadot involved would be the icing on the cake. So that would be pretty awesome. I would love to see anything that has her.
That has Wonder Girl? Agreed.
I would love to see both of them in a scene.
Well, yeah, why? Who wouldn't? Stupid people?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I thought PB would love that because apparently he really likes Wonder Girl, and you know, I know you like.
How can you
Wonder
not,
Woman.
man?
So
like,
yeah,
she
I
was easily the hottest Titan.
So I wanted to talk about, speaking of fictional worlds, there's a new book that's been making its rounds, and it's a new fantasy series. It's supposed to be for young readers. It's by a African-American writer. I want to preference that because it has a lot to do with this article. And also Kathleen Kennedy is involved.
Wait, so is it like, what African language is it written in?
None, because there are
so
no...
it's just by a black writer?
Yes. So anyways, I wanted to preference this because it directly involves Kathleen Kennedy. And if you know that Kathleen Kennedy is involved, I know we love this term, but it's most appropriate here. It's going to be woke as shit. And she's doing this under the Lucas banner. And this is rich. This is the greatest maneuver Kathleen Kennedy has done yet. I just want to say, I can't wait for her to set all of Lucas art's on fire because
She's not
where
going to
she's
be
going
there
with
that
this.
much longer, guy. Isn't that contract up
Oh,
next year?
With this maneuver, she is certainly looking to burn as much of this shit down as she can. So,
Yeah, she's
before we
going to
get
Seth
started,
Rollins, that motherfucker.
yeah. So what if
You don't get
Harry
my
Potter?
reference. It's okay.
What if Harry Potter had been black? This is a Time
Jesus
article.
Christ.
I can't make this shit up. Tomi Adeyemi on representation and fostering empathy through her epic fantasy series. This series is her flip on this, and also, by the way, it's a talk on the police brutality going on. This book is
I thought he was black, according to J.K. Rowling.
Anyways, this book was specifically made as she comes out and says it as a political statement. And I've looked up the reviews on this book because I ain't gonna read this piece of shit. There has been so many people that have said this book is so terrible. It's like supposed to be for young viewers, but there's like incest and all sorts of shit. And this is a young adult book.
Sounds like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they've referenced Game of Thrones, only apparently without the good writing. And I think they're talking about seasons 1 through
good 6.
Yeah. So anyways, I wanted to bring this up because this is quite interesting. Tomi Adeyemi wants to wrap her readers in a dangerous but warm blanket. Her young adult novels, the hit epic Children of Blood and Bone, and its highly anticipated new sequel, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, combines escapist fantasies with clear-eyed confrontations of race and power. I was thinking you're creating a Snuggie, the Nigerian American author tells The Times. It's a violent Snuggie, but it's a Snuggie. Look at me. Adeyemi's first book, which came out in 2018, has spent 90 weeks on the New York Times bestsellers list, of course. Transports readers to
There
the
are
kingdom
52 weeks in a year.
To the kingdom of Ashura, where teenager Zella Adubla, that's some kind of fucking, I can't say that shit, is determined
It's African. Because she's black.
I guess, is determined to bring
Well, maybe it's
magic.
Maybe it's Muslim.
No, it's West African. Is determined to bring back her oppressed people. In the novel inspired by West African culture, Adeyemi's protagonist teams up with a rogue princess to help fight the monarchy, which mercilessly has wiped out magic years before, in order to gain more power. In the sequel, she discovers that the progress she has made in the first book has had complicated ramifications, leading to the kingdoms toward a brutal civil war. Both novels are brushing accounts of unthinkable violence, persecution that is invoked in a bigger real-world conversation about suffering and survival. Children of Virtue and Vengeance is the second book of Adeyemi's fantasy trilogy, which was part of a reported 7-figure deal that the Harvard graduate signed in 2017. The film rights for Children of Blood and Bone have been acquired by Fox 2000, specifically by Kathleen Kennedy. The book's release over the summer. This Is Us writer Kay Ogan signed to write the script, which I'm really disappointed in you because I like This Is Us. Why would you do this? Anyways, Adeyemi spoke to the Times about how the past 3 years has changed her life, her dream cast for the movie, and what she hopes her young readers can come to understand about the world through her books. there's a bunch of questions and shit. I'm gonna skip to the highlights here because it's a fucking long article that I'm not gonna waste my time indulging. But basically, at the end of this book, there's a huge excerpt. At the end of the book, there's a huge excerpt. This is the part I wanted to read, where she tackles and talks about racial tensions and the atrocities committed to the Black community by the police. Oh boy. And the person who co-signed this, the person who picked this up, the fearless leader who's going to take this and run with the new, as one of the first movies coming under the Fox 2000 banner, the brave, the spectacular, marvelous Kathleen Kennedy has greenlit this project. Oh my god!
Excellent.
This is fucking amazing.
So this is Black Harry Potter, right? So there's a sorting hat, and you put it on the kid, and it sorts blood.
No, this is nothing to do. This is
cut off my joke.
No, don't bring Harry Potter into this, Cyber. I love Harry Potter. Don't bring the sorting hat.
You cut off my joke. That PB is.
I fucking heard it. It was beautiful.
Go ahead, destroy my favorite piece of literature by a wacky fucking weirdo.
All right, let me see. So it was like Harry Potter, right? So it has a sorting hat that sorts in between the Bloods and the Crips, right?
Oh my god, this is laughable though, because according to what I've read from readers and users who have downloaded the audiobook or who's purchased it, they've said this is the general consensus, not from fucking critics, not from the New York Times or the Post, but from actual people who live in the real world. They've said it has mediocre writing with strong political undertones. I'm reading some reviews here. One user said, "This book is absolutely atrocious. This is Game of Thrones with half of the talent and none of the creativity. I got to the end of the book and I was confused. I will not be purchasing the second volume."
A great endorsement.
One user put a hodgepodge of mixed messages that are confusing to the reader and its audience. A blatant statement about law enforcement and inaccurate facts to back up wildly uncreative writing. Oh, another viewer put disappointed.
At least he was or she was succinct.
Another person put horrible.
Another succinct one.
Like, oh my god, this is amazing. I hope.
So
Kathleen
does this book
Kennedy
need to come
never
with a
leaves.
match? Like, does this thing need to come with a match, like Fahrenheit 451?
Oh my god! So I mean, and you guys can go over and see Doomcock did a video on this. Kathleen Kennedy fucking scooped this shit up. She was like, woke propaganda, fuck yeah! And we just got this new Fox 2000 started. Let me fucking light this motherfucker on fire and purchase the most fucking racially charged piece of literature I can find. Yeah, burn this motherfucker to the ground.
I was hoping with the Fox merger we'd get Alien versus Predator Deadpool movie, you know?
No. Alien, Predator, Deadpool, and all the stuff we love is gonna sit on a fucking shelf forever, Cyber. We won't see
Ryan Reynolds is talking a lot about Deadpool 3, though.
We might see Deadpool. We most definitely won't see Aliens or Predator for a long while. So,
but
if they make another
Disney
Predator
princess.
movie, can we finally get Arnold to come back or no?
No.
No, that's not. We
So
won't. We won't.
we'll be doomed to only have that as the greatest Predator movie then.
I
Yep.
mean, until the next great one.
Which
Why
won't
do
be
you not
happening.
have faith? Why can Arnold be the only person that makes a great Predator movie? There can be somebody else who gets hunted by the Predator and then hunts the Predator back because he's a badass.
I'm not gonna lie though. I am a fan of Predator 2. I think it's much better now than back when it was released. I mean, you had Bill Paxton. I buy Danny Glover as the protagonist. I like the ending. You had Gary Busey in there. So, I mean, Predator 2 was a pretty solid movie. It wasn't better than 1, but it was entertaining.
The thing I like about Predator, though, is at the end, it's like, who is the Predator? Was it the Commandos or was it the alien? It makes
Yeah.
me
I
think,
know
because
what
like
those
the
things
beginning,
are
the alien
called.
was hunting them, but they were also there hunting other things, going after stuff. And then they tried going after the alien throughout the whole movie. Everyone died except for Arnold. Arnold successfully beat it. So
Yeah, because
which one
he's
was
a
the
fucking
Predator?
pig.
Yeah, but to be fair though, I did like the fact that that Predator 2 depicted LA as the shithole that it actually is. Like,
Jesus
okay,
Christ. Fucking typical New Yorker.
so let me just set the scene, okay? The first scene of the movie is literally a shootout in the middle of the fucking street between two rival gangs, right? And fucking the man himself goes fucking rolling in when all these cops are being shot. All right. Fucking Danny Glover goes rolling in that motherfucker. He fucking there's a cop laying there, all wounded, dying and shit. No one wants to go near him because they don't want to get in between this gang war. And he takes a fucking car and rolls it through while these bullets are going through and pulls the officer out. And then these fucking coked up Ecuadorian people who do Scarface level amounts of coke all get fucking skinned alive by the Predator. What a fucking great opening. I mean, that's pretty solid, and not gonna lie. Or the scene where the Haitian dude fucking takes on the Predator in the back alley. And he's
So
like
at
doing
what point in Predator 2 are they hunting the Predator?
Danny Glover does when he goes on like a mystery and finds out there's something fucking skinning these people alive, and then he hunts for it, and then it starts hunting them, and then the government get involved, of course,
Yeah.
and they send in hunters, but with fucking crazy Gary Busey, because I totally buy Gary Busey hunting an alien. I mean, that's true to life. You listen to him fucking talk, totally fits that role.
The greatest blessing though with this merger is no Terminator movies.
Oh no, you won't fucking see another Terminator.
I love Terminator. It's gotta be done for a bit. It needs to go on ice for a bit, people.
After Dark Fate, that motherfucker should be put in the ground. Dark Fate fucking killed the Terminator.
You mean Dark Funk?
That movie literally shot John Connor in the face and buried him.
It literally did not shoot him in the face at all. What are you talking about?
I didn't like Genesis. I'm not watching Dark Fate. Ever.
Salvation was decent. I didn't think
I like Salvation. I like Salvation. It wasn't, great or bad, but it was one of the only movies that showed us what the war looked like, and I want more of the war.
Not to mention Christian Bale was totally believable. I feel like he still did his Batman voice because it was in that stage.
I still like
people
I'm probably in the minority.
People just
like
you only like Genesis because the Queen of Dragons was in it, and I don't blame you because that was the only reason why I watched it.
people just hate Bale in that movie, and I can never find a real reason. It's because they hate Bale. And that's why the
Oh,
people
for
hate
sure.
that's why the people hate the Batman movies. They hate Bale. I'm like, why do you people just fucking hate Bale out of nowhere?
Because he
Because
can't find the trigger.
Because he did a great Ken Miles in Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh yeah, that movie was. I did a review on how great that movie was.
Really?
Oh yeah,
My brother who loves Shelby because he inspired him a lot and all that stuff. My brother's I've told you guys he's a mechanic, so you obviously know how much into cars he is. He was happy with the performance of both of Matt Damon and Christian Bale for those two people.
I thought he was a heart mechanic.
A what?
A heart mechanic. You know, somebody goes in, chops you up, fix your heart up.
No, he's a mechanic that there's stuff breaking. He's a forklift mechanic currently right now.
Oh, he fixes forks.
Lifts.
all right. So we spent a lot of time on this, so I'm gonna get to my last article of the night. How
Holy
Supernatural
fuck.
star.
Finally. Oh my god, now we gotta talk about this guy.
I like this guy because
You like him in the Brokeback Mountain way.
I can't quit him. Anyways, how Supernatural star Jensen Ackles saved his brewery and its staff. You know what? Good for you, man. Anyways, Supernatural fans
I must support this. It's beer.
Exactly. Any man who's willing to save beer, he's okay in my book. Supernatural fans know that the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic impacted the show. They have postponed filming the final 2 episodes for the month and held the last 7 to air until the fall. Supernatural star Jensen Ackles and had another business impacted by the pandemic too. Ackles and his wife, who own a family beer company in Texas, Ackles was a guest star on King of Com's Con podcast on October 23rd via Zoom from Vancouver, where he was filming the final episodes of Supernatural. With host Rob Benedict and Richard, and they asked about his family business, and Ackles shared an update. Supernatural star Jason Ackles picked the wrong time to be in the beer business, as cities and states across the country, let alone the world, shut down to prevent large gatherings at bars and pubs, which lost major business. There's been a lot of people in the craft brewery industry, certainly in Texas, that have felt the hard hit of this pandemic. And Ackles said, I know over a half a dozen who have closed their doors indefinitely. Indeed, the family beer business company relied on physical attendance to sample their beverage. All of our revenue was really coming from the tap room, which was the destination place. Ackles said, for everybody who's ever been there, they know it's a bit like a drive outside the town. But once you get there, it's a beautiful acreage and an oak grove with plenty of seating and picnic benches. Kids can run around. It's just a really cool spot. That's what heavily relied on for foot traffic through there. Jensen Ackles sped up to this part of the business to adapt. When Texas closed its bars, family business had full kegs and vats. They needed somewhere to put the beer. Luckily, Ackles was already thinking about distributing family business beer beyond the Texas location. He says, so we closed our doors pretty quickly at the end of March and just kind of focused on getting the canning line up and running. We brought the canning line and we were still months away from dialing it in. and getting our cans printed and stuff like that. So we kind of went to a push on our vendors that we were working with to help us out. We need some product. We've got a lot of beer in these tanks and they're not getting used. We've got a lot of product to move that's just sitting around right now. We don't want it to go bad. So we need to actually do something with it. Looking for family business beer wherever beverages are being sold, he moved all of the product. It was like Indiana Jones slid under the stone wall and grabbed a hat. Ackles said, "We just barely got it out. The can lining got up and running. We got all of the cans. Our sales team hit the phones, and we basically, all of the beer got brought immediately by grocery stores, liquor stores, and markets. Now we have pivot from being a bar and tap room experience place to just a manufacturing company facility. We still do beer to go and stuff like that." According to their website, Family Business Beer Company is slowly reopening under coronavirus safety protocols. They offer outdoor tables by reservation. Unfortunately, the playground where the kids could cohabitate remains closed. However, they were able to stay in business and keep their staff employed. I'd say that our team, they're really pivoted amazingly. All the bartenders and the people that were busting the tables, they are now on the manufacturing lines. They're busting their tails off and they're still getting paid. They're still making wages. We were able to hold on to a lot of the employees and keep the doors open while keeping work open for the employees to work and keeping the lights on, you would say. So I definitely give him a lot of credit. He pivoted his business and he, just talks about how he had in mind to keep these people employed and to make the business thrive and kind of change up for what had happened. And I got to say, whether you like or hate him as an actor, I respect the fact that he wasn't willing to let anyone go and he didn't lose a single worker. He kept everybody employed and he's actually making money off of this business. That is a hell of a story. PB, what do you think about this? And he's been casted for The Boys season 3. So, I mean...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to play
well, I suppose he has extra time now.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart too, because a lot of these actors and actresses, they just bank on being an Oscar winner forever and getting roles forever. But, the film industry and the entertainment industry is taking quite a hit, as we've been talking about.
Well, as long as you don't get your Oscars on Amazon Prime, you can keep them.
So, I give it to Jensen for being, a pretty stand-up guy and not wanting to fire any of these people. You hear about businesses that are forced to close their doors down, or these big companies that were saying, Disney, oh my God, we're so...
It's interesting that I guess I didn't ask the question that I was thinking, which was when I read or seen the headline for the article in the group chat was, I wonder what state he's located in, because Texas was not a state that was on, let's say, full lockdown protocol. You could still go out and go to your job and get paid for making the beer.
I mean, but in the height of it, and we've seen that, we got reports from Mad Squirrel, there were still areas of Texas that were being impacted by those regulations. It's just now they're a little bit more, they're very loose with the protocols and things like that. They actually, could say they really
feel like he is still selling more of his product locally than he is nationally, which is almost the exact inverse of every major beer company.
Hey, but he's he's making money and kept his staff on.
I know, that's the only important part. That's all you're technically supposed to do as a business owner. And even that is more than what you're supposed to do. I mean, as the business owner, you're supposed to make your business profitable. And if having that extra person on is not making the business profitable because you don't have enough people out there buying your fucking product, which is the beer, that'd be a problem. Like if you don't have enough customers buying your product, then you don't have to employ enough people to make that amount of beer. Obviously, he didn't have a big enough operation where he would be in a position where he could scale down production in any substantial amount, which I suppose is a good thing in this scenario.
Yeah, and looking at this, there were a lot of factors that were actually working in his favor, per se. And,
Factor number one, he's not a fuck pie.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. He's not an A-list actor per se, but he gets work. He doesn't have to necessarily put time, energy, probably all of the marketing that it took while he wasn't shooting and things like that.
He gets work. He hasn't needed to get work. He's had the same job for the last 14 years.
Yeah, and he's also been in other things as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that he hasn't done other things. I couldn't even tell you all the other things that he's done in between. But he's had a steady job doing the same thing. And yeah, I mean, he can do whatever the fuck he wants now. He can make two kinds of beer.
But I think it's cool when someone cares enough. I mean, he could have just walked away and said, you know what, Corona, shit's hard. Sorry, guys, pack it up. You win some, you lose some.
Hashtag walk away. Tell us your story of why you left the Democrat Party.
But he chose instead to say, what can we do if we can't make this an outdoor thing that I originally envisioned, right? If we can't bring this to the masses as an outdoor experience, then how can I, and the key word was pivot, and make this profitable, right? You had businesses and companies in Hollywood that didn't seem to understand the word pivot, right? They were like, holy fuck, the world is burning. We can't hear it here. We're fucked. Red alert, right?
Which is funny. You think if they didn't understand what the word pivot mean, they could just ask their best friend, LeBron James. But he doesn't know what it means either. He just travels and then dunks.
So, I mean, yeah, but that's a great analogy because, right, they move in a straight line, it seems, all the time, just fucking forward, right? They leave no room to zig and zag. And, he got hit with this situation. And unlike the corporations who, like you said, they could just scale down operations. But what does that mean? They got to let people go. They got to shut down certain locations, whatever the case may be, or like cut down the workforce in locations. But he had a small enough operation, but enough clout and enough know-how to go, hey, we were already starting to do this canning operation to ship out to these stores and everything else. And we're just going to focus all our efforts on this. And then when, the bans and restrictions lift, then we can reopen this other part that was our big margin, right? So now he took a thing he had always planned on doing with the company anyways, and just sped up the plans for that, and refocused his energy. So now he just created
He's like the Kevin Feige of beer.
Yeah, he really is. It was. I had to bring up this article because I really like hearing
because you
stories.
love Supernatural. I know.
I do. I mean, it kind of went downhill. Season 5 should have been the end. The writer who currently writes The Boys he was the showrunner up to season 5, and that's where you kind of see the quality dip, because he went on to make The Boys. But anyways, I mean, it's just it really baffles my mind when I read stories like this. And then you got bigger companies who are like, we gotta fucking cut the workforce, fuck all these people, Corona, you know? Like, this seems like the perfect opportunity to where you can go, all of these fucking workers we were paying for, and we had to go through all of the legal hoops and the careful wording to try to fire them. Now we can just invoke Corona. Fuck them and their families. Corona bitches. Like, that's what it seems like to me. And then you got,
it's a great out.
And now you got these other businesses. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, another person who was in Supernatural and plays one of the greatest villains on television, Negan in Walking Dead. He went to a fucking comic book store and signed free copies of comics they were giving out just to keep the local comic book store open. Like, he would sign certain amount of books. You had to pay for other signatures. But all of the money.
I could go there and get Jeffrey Dean Morgan to sign my copy of Captain Marvel.
He'd probably say, "What is this fucking bullshit?" Because that's the kind of person that he. Which, by the way, he's another one that they tried to character assassinate because he supports Trump, and fucking Negan is such a villain. We knew this white male was devious, not because he killed Glenn, not because he fucking burned down the hillside. No, he's the worst villain of them all because he voted Trump. What? Holy fuck. Fucking Negan's ruthless. like, they've attacked him so bad that they've attacked. Okay. They've attacked the fictional character in the show for fat shaming someone. In the show, where the character is specifically an evil dick, they have attacked him and said he needed to apologize to his co-star for acting out a scene that's degrading towards women and heavy-set individuals.
Well, yeah.
That, like, the levels of stupidity these days is fucking astonishing. It's like nothing I've ever seen. I can't remember a point since fucking the 90s where
I just assume when people are being upset about stuff that is so goddamn ridiculous, there's no way a person could possibly be upset at how a character in a TV show is acting because they're a villain. And I'm not talking about people reviewing a TV show and saying, oh, the show's not making sense like it's supposed to, or, oh, I don't think it's going in a good direction, or it's going downhill. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Talking about the people that go, oh, you're showing evil men in a good light. What the fuck? You've got to be trolling me. So I just got to laugh and move on.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Spoiler alert. Negan is the fucking villain of that season, of that group of comics. This is a guy who takes a baseball bat to people's heads as a statement. Why does he use a baseball bat? Because in a panel of the comics, he says guns aren't sporting. Okay?
Is it? I don't watch this, but this is the same bat that's like wrapped up in like barbed wire, isn't it?
Yes. Named Lucille. Fucking greatest name for a baseball bat ever. He calls it his vampire bat that he has to feed blood. Like, he's a fucking sick character. He is basically what Rick would be if Rick was out there a lot longer and, had all the fucked up shit that happened to Negan happen to him. But I mean, this is a zombie apocalypse where people have lost family members. The world is fucked. And you have to do some pretty fucked up shit to survive. And the thing about this character is, in all actuality, getting way off topic, but in all actuality, Negan it would actually, if you followed him, if you reversed it, and we never saw the story through Rick's eyes, right? Because the whole series of The Walking Dead is basically seen from Rick's perspective. But when you think about it, Rick went in to this group, okay? This group knew nothing about his group, but he got swindled by another group to take out these bad men who are coming in and charging attacks and taking people's shit. So Rick is like, okay, I'm going to take these motherfuckers out. So Negan very smartly points out, they went in the middle of the night and they slit these people's throats while they were asleep. Took this station that Negan had procured, right? He took it, no one was using it, repurposed it, made it a base of operations, right? So these people that he's never saw before, never had a problem with, came in, killed about 10 of his people while they slept, slit their throats, right? But he's the bad guy for retaliating against this group of people who just came in and killed all of his people for no apparent fucking reason. I mean, when you look at it from that perspective, who's really the bad guy in that scenario? Yes, I know Rick's, from the perspective of the story, he's trying to help these people who are losing their shit to this guy that no one's
Rick
ever seen.
Rick is an asshole.
But yeah, in this case, Rick just came in and started fucking killing people before he knew what the situation is, because his group had been the top dogs, right? They've gone through all the shit. They've taken these settlements, and now all of a sudden he doesn't think there's someone bigger and better than him. Well, Negan woke up and said, you know what, motherfucker, I'm bigger than you. And he fucking took a baseball bat to two people's heads because Lucille was hungry. Like, I fucking love Negan. But my point being is that that's the character you're dealing with, right? So people, they don't get mad that he took a bat to the only Asian character in the comics or the show. No, where's your fucking representation poll for that? No, we'll glaze over that. He killed the only Asian. Yeah, they don't get mad about that. Some people just love the character, were salty, but no, they're not mad about that. They're mad because he took over Rick's house, and the chick that was there, he forced her to make him dinner and made a couple of jokes. That was the big crime. He said, his exact words were, I love
that
me
what
a
the
big
women
woman,
are for?
but God damn, you're a lot of woman.
Aren't they there for making dinner?
like that scene was pretty fucking I was like, wow, this is gonna come back and haunt them. And sure as shit, I was right about that, because they're like, oh my God, he's assuming women have to be in the kitchen and cooking, and then he fat shames her. And I'm like, he's a fucking villain. Are you serious? And not only that, it's a fucking fictional character. I can't make this shit up. Oh,
you don't have to make it up, thankfully. They're dumb as fuck.
So, I mean, just cliff notes. We've talked about race swaps, gender swaps, Chris Pratt being attacked by these ridiculous Twitter users. I mean, shit is getting crazy. I mean, let's get some final thoughts, guys. What do you guys think about everything we talked about? What are your overall arching views, I'm gonna call this the fake rage tonight. Fake rage out there, because that's what it is. It's fictional rage from Twitter warriors.
Oh,
People need
Twitter
to step
warriors really
outside and-
need you. Oh, go ahead.
People need to step outside. Just turn off their fucking electronics for like a day or something.
I couldn't, because then I can't make my awesome Marvel Strike Force video where I do my showcase of my Nick Fury.
Nobody's watching that crap.
Actually, I had a lot of good positive buzz
No,
on that.
you didn't. Don't lie to us.
I'm fucking General Zod. That's what I do. Thought we established
General
that.
Zod does not lie.
He most certainly lies. He mixes the truth within his lies.
No, man. No.
The only thing that I am truthful about is, 1, people will kneel before me. 2, I will rule the world.
These are aspirations. That has nothing to do with lying. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. They're aspirations I'll achieve.
I mean,
Anyway.
I guess you could be lying about your aspirations, in which case you would want to kneel before us and fuck, what was the other one?
Rule the world, man.
Okay, so then, how do I reverse that one around?
You can get philosophical and say that I feel like the world is ruling over me and my very actions and thoughts.
No,
There you go.
that's
You're
fucking
all-
retarded.
Oh my god. Anyways, let me get some final thoughts. Just to recap for everyone, we talked about Chris Pratt being attacked for no reason because what they were attacking him for was total bullshit. About a event he was supposed to go to for the Biden-Harris powerhouse campaign, and he was never fucking invited to it. So now apparently, he's the devil.
Yep, they attacked him for not supporting future Senator of California, Kamala Harris.
We talked about that. We talked about one of the blackest actresses in Hollywood playing a very clearly white wife to King Henry VIII. We talked about the new Moon Knight series and how it's not Jewish enough.
Oscar Isaac. So he didn't get cast? There's nobody playing Moon Knight.
No, he did get cast. Shia LaBeouf got passed over.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't know Oscar Isaac was a Jew. Silly me.
I didn't know he was an actor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's old Star Wars hate coming up to the surface, folks. I apologize. Just like with Game of Thrones, when I think about it, I get bitter and mad. Oh, man. And you know what? To be fair to Oscar, I can't blame him for what was written for him to act, because I've seen him in other stuff. I assume he tried really hard with what he was given, which wasn't fucking much. I mean,
It's not.
but we talked about Netflix. They're not going downhill. The people are fucking stupid. They actually made more this quarter, and they're upping their price. So if you got that pipe dream that because of one movie all of a sudden their stocks dropped, you guys are sorely disillusioned. They actually went up the quarter, and they're steadily rising. So that's a myth. We talked about Amazon fucking people over. If you buy a movie, you might lose it because licensing. And you can go back through and see all the other stuff. We had witty banter, we laugh. We really grew as individuals. Let's go down the line here. We're gonna.
You have no idea how much I ate during the stream. Saying I grew as an individual. You individually grew.
No. No matter how hard I try. Anyways, let's go to the first on the panel. The only person that Snyder fans apparently really hate because he's a dog because they had his video pulled. Cyber, did you ever get that video back up? Or the Snyder fans still, I don't know, they're dog haters. They just
it got removed by YouTube because I forgot to mention it to Team YouTube. Also, it's a shit post, and I just let it fly.
Cyber, don't take that route. You got to stick to your guns.
I forgot it. I forgot. No, I've said I forgot to do the thing with YouTube. There is something I'm going to post in a few days. I'm not talking much about it, and then I'm going to have another video talking about that. And then I'm not so sure with the other stuff. My one project of the 4 impressions, I keep delaying that one because the first half is a parody. To keep telling you guys, the first half that I wrote on it, I like it. It's solid. The second half, I don't like. So I'm trying to figure out how to work the second half to make it
work it hard, make it your bitch, and post the video.
Otherwise, I got everything ready for that one. Well, ready to, organize into a video. Anything could happen in the next few days.
Ahead than me.
Anything else could pop up in between what I mentioned and those. So yeah, check it out.
Well, you never know when Barbara's going to turn into a cheetah again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Zod doesn't get it at all.
He didn't watch that video.
No, he didn't.
I did in spirit.
Well, you gotta watch. You gotta watch my shit. You might laugh.
You would laugh. He'd laugh his ass off. You gotta watch Uncle Pot Roast first.
Now I'm curious. More for the Uncle Pot Roast thing. Mr. Happy Pumpkin, what do you got to piss off Snyder fans this week?
Oh my God, that's a damn good question. Who knows? All I gotta do is go to the good old Google and punch in the Snyder Cut and see what it says to me. And then, allegedly get so upset that I had to make a video bitching about a movie for 15 minutes. And I was like, well, that's not exactly what happened, but thanks for watching.
Clearly, they've never watched one of my rants. I have made bitching an art form.
I don't have nearly as much stuff planned as, the other people on this panel.
Awesome. So go check out all of the unplanned videos that'll be going out on Mr. PB, Pop Culture PB's channel.
I'll make one.
Find him. Can we also find you on Facebook and Twitch?
No.
I mean, you could find me on Twitch, but I didn't share my Twitch stream because I haven't been up with my Twitch streams lately. I've only had one.
Okay, so PB is going to join Twitch, and Cyber's already on.
I have a Twitch, but I don't do anything on Twitch.
Yeah, he has a Twitch. He's a moderator on my channel.
So anyways, you can check these guys out on their various platforms. PB seriously is on YouTube and on Twitter, so go and check them out if you want to argue about
Parler. Everybody download Parler. They don't silence the conservatives.
Yeah, so go download Parler.
They don't silence. They don't silence either side.
I know.
So if you want to have that kind of a talk, go on Parler.
They let all the hate speech fly.
Speaking of the hate speech, you can check us out later today when I do my political side of things. Father Zod will be on there along with Mr. PB, and we'll be talking about shit having to do with the election more than likely. And, various other subjects if you're into that tonight at 10 p.m. Central Time on
You should
Fandom
really
News.
call him Grandfather Zod, but whatever.
The only source for accurate, unbiased news with real facts. Never thought those words would be coming out of my mouth. And also, I am going to be posting some stuff myself on Marvel Contest of Champions, the only Marvel game that I have found where you do not have to spend a dime. I've literally started an account and have not put 1 cent into it and got some pretty good units. And I'm going to show you guys how you can do that and have fun with all your favorite Marvel characters. Probably do a character spotlight on my newest one that I just got, which was fucking Venom.
Captain Marvel.
Fuck that. I had a chance to get Captain Marvel. I sold her. She's supposedly
So
really
did you
good.
start with Wolverine?
No, I started with, I believe, Black Widow from the Black Widow movie, and then I got Wolverine. I got like fucking 3 copies of him, but not the one I wanted. I wanted Old Man Logan, but I got fucking Wolverine instead. Because I will tell you, they do this system where you have to click the crystal and then it spins, and there's a bunch of fucking heroes going, and then you click it again, and it's like a roulette thing. So you could get a really good character.
I know. I played that game a long time ago, so I don't think that it changed too much.
Oh, there's been some the style hasn't changed, but there's been a lot more content.
You got 3 people on your team, and it's a quick tap in the screen type of game.
Yeah, but now you can have 6 make a full team, and they all have like abilities that work together with each other and synergize. So like, say you have the Avengers, you get special like power-ups based on who you have in your group.
Intriguing.
Or if you have X-Men, they have their own unique abilities. Thanos' group has his own abilities. The Venoms are in there. They just added Ghost Rider.
They're called symbiotes.
Yeah, the symbiotes have their own squad in there. They even have a symbiote Deadpool and symbiote Howard the Duck. So there's a lot of characters. Pretty much anyone in Marvel that you could think of, they're in there. So
I got something to say to you once we get off the air.
So anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for coming along on this wacky ride. And remember, the only rule here in the Fandom Zone, kneel before your generals.